they come in, they measure a new guy, and they put their name tags on there. That I have no problem getting.
See, we had to do, our setup was really expensive because I had to have Goodyear on certain things with the Gemini. I had to adhere to what fucking Goodyear told me. So I had to go with the company that they agreed with, which was fucking Aramark. And I still, to this day, hate Aramark.
Who were you dealing with?
Service uniform.
I forgot who I ended up with. I can picture the van and its green name on it.
UniFirst?
UniFirst.
That's who I was looking at.
They were fucking cheap as shit, man. And I never had any issues with them.
They seem good, but right now it doesn't matter. I can't get these guys to fix the problems, and we're fighting.
Yeah, like I said, though, eventually you just gotta pull the trigger, man.
Yeah.
They will never come around and acknowledge they fuck up. I'm telling you, they don't.
I agree.
I mean, it's
After
crazy.
all I've gone through, and the letters I've written, and the attorney's letters, and Better Business Bureau, and Google Review, and on, they're like...
Why wouldn't they just try to do better? Why do they fuck
They
around?
should try to do better.
No, but he's saying they don't make an effort.
Well, that's
Don't they
weird.
even pretend they're trying to help? They, okay, man, we're
If I had to really, I'd say some of it's cost. I bet UniFirst, I bet you, UniFirst, you've already seen the quotes. Forget about what they're saying to buy out. On a month-to-month basis, I would say UniFirst is at least half the price.
In this case, it's like a $50 savings. It's not...
That's it?
That's it. That's not money for me.
Mine was easily 50%.
Art of Granite is twice. That's unusual. You're for sure on that.
You have questions
Yeah,
about
it's
Can we do the second one tape?
free financial review at West
I'm trying to think what else they did for me. They did rags,
Okay, I'll
rugs, uniforms,
Whole towels.
those fucking
That's
jackets
why.
for the
Yeah,
tags,
yeah,
which I had to do those.
How can you make as
I
much
said,
as
it's fucking cold, guys. Fucking man up. You don't need a jacket. Bring one from home.
I don't even wear pants.
I'm wearing shorts.
Move it into your mortgage at a much
You need
lower
a boss
rate.
like Mark. You
Save
need a
up to
manager.
$1,000
Like Mark, shut up.
Mortgage rates haven't been this low in over a year.
I got guys complaining
More
about
than
having
any
to go
other show, but
outside and
still
push
so
a car
few,
in
right?
and die. I get outside because it won't run. It's like, dude, are you serious? It's 85 degrees. Shut up and go out to the car.
My old lead
Do you
tech,
have summer and
Mike,
winter
he was
uniforms, by the way?
hardcore.
We just do long sleeve, short sleeve.
Yeah, I have one or two guys that are like that. That are like just they'll go
How
out
many
there and work on
people
the
do
car.
you
They don't care.
uniform?
Shut up and stop whining, you babies.
They've been doing it since they were
Jeff,
born.
how many
These
people
young
do you
kids.
uniform?
I'm sorry, please?
How many people do you uniform?
3?
Months of mortgage payments. You have nothing to lose except a bunch of interest expense.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Give them a call. 303-695-7000.
It's cheaper than if you had to go out and buy people shit.
Are we up, by the way?
Yes. AmericanFinancing.net.
Don't. I'm already saying don't. Can you shut up, Mr. Shit Pusher?
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
I know. It's like, don't.
Not today, huh?
Board of Supervisors is a domestic terror organization.
A new time. It's ahead of the show.
Who is the domestic terror? NRA. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Those fucking numbskulls.
Not Antifa, just NRA. Yeah.
From the whole, all of San Francisco, I mean, their council.
Now, they didn't officially declare.
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This is the only show of its kind anywhere where we strive to help you. Really, think about it. Today's Car Day. I don't know why. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on the iHeartRadio app. We're live across many platforms, including our flagship station, of course, good old iHeart's KHOW in Denver, 630 on the AM dial. Welcome. And really, I hope if you're listening for the first time, you're going to tell people about it. Many people tune in when they have a problem, and they've not listened before, and then they start becoming listeners and pass along the information. Our main deal is to prevent other people from having the same problem. We also have a car day, which means we don't ever have a one-topic show, but we like to save car day for our experts. And today we have some experts. We have Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, and Jesse Schillinger from Honest Accurate Auto in Colorado Springs. And then Kimmer Transmission, of course, is at Arapahoe in Jordan. People come from all over, though. So what's on your mind today? You know, as I said, the purpose of this show is to give you a place to really complain about stuff where no one else would listen. Or, listen, you can't afford an attorney for all these problems. And if you call the government, there are no people to take care of problems. We think there are. Unless there is a massive flood of problems in one area, a trending problem, they're not addressed. What about credit card fraud? Do you know if somebody is using your credit card, nobody cares? You know, credit card fraud is an unpunished crime always, except in massive fraud. Except in massive fraud. Let's explain this to you. First and foremost, I had this happen. Someone used, at one of these super shoe stores, you know, for the athletic shoes, somebody used a credit card, they were on camera, and they charged up like $200 in shoes. It was a young lady charged up $200 in shoes. It was not her credit card. Now, the person who had their credit card missing, and they remember using it at this store, they must have left it at the store, and they see the person there using it because they demanded the security camera. They filed the police report. The police report says you're not a victim because they put the money back on your account. The store is the victim. So then you go to the store, and the store says, well, we don't want to press charges. And besides, we were reimbursed from the credit card company.
And it's not worth doing is how they look at it.
So then you go, but they're not doing it. It's the police doing it, right?
No. What I'm saying is, yeah, you're right. The police would be the one to bring charges. You're absolutely right.
But it's the bother, you mean. It's not worth the
Well,
bother.
they don't want to send an employee to court and have to testify. It becomes
now
more than $200.
So now the person who was ripped off is pissed off, and even now knows the identity of the person because she recognized the person as somebody who worked there and waited on her. So that person took her card, and that person not only took the card, but used it. So here's the bottom line. Who's the victim? She goes to the credit card company and says, I want to press charges. They say no. She said, why? Well, they don't want to. So this person charged $200 worth of shoes with no repercussions at all. In fact, she went on to charge liquor and other things. And we are talking about thousands of dollars. Nobody cares about certain crimes. You might care, but no one else does. We have all kinds of stuff like this. This is where I say, you want to just scream. You know, you just want to scream. Things that are wrong, you just want to scream. And don't forget our battle with the Denver nuisance abatement law. That's not going to go away. We are battling that behind the scenes. If you want updates, we'll give you updates. That's where the city of Denver, and honest to God, no matter what they tell you they're not doing it. They tell you that there are provisions for innocent people. They're wrong. They're lying to you. They are lying through their teeth, and we will prove it. We will prove that this law unjustly targets minorities and poor people, taking their vehicles. They make about $3 million a year or more. The average sale is about $1,500. They confiscate vehicles from so-called criminals, except they're not criminals. There must be an underlying criminal case to start it. For example, if somebody was smuggling drugs with a jet, they take the jet. We all understand that part. But what about when you loan your car to your uncle and your uncle gets into trouble? They take your car. He wasn't using the car in a crime. He was wanted for something, failure to appear. They take your car, and you have to fight tooth and nail to get it back, but you don't have the money to do it because the car's only worth $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. You don't have the money. They take it, and then they trick you and lie to you to keep it. It's so immoral. And that's why I want you to look into it. Please don't take my word for it. Look into it. And Corey Nelson is one of the attorneys that we have caught lying out and out. He is a liar. Now listen, Corey, with a KKK. It's a K-O-R-Y. Corey Nelson. He's running for school board in Douglas County. Corey, I just beg you to sue me for calling you a liar. Because we will prove it. Not only that, it opens you up to discovery.
We have an attorney trying to prove exactly that right now. Oh,
no, we will. And here's the other thing. He should lose his license or be censured. Not only that, he is running for school board in Douglas County. Now, people, if you're from Douglas County, I urge you to tell people about racist, liar, KKK Corey Nelson. It's Corey Nelson for school board, Facebook.com. And then our whore-loving mayor, the one who has hired whores. Now people say, oh, I doubted in the past because I didn't think he would lie, but he lies. So now when I catch him in a lie, I figure, you know what? He probably lied about that Denver Players and Denver Sugar, where his name was in that black book, and the sexual harassment of his female staff. We have a bunch of crooks in Denver. We have a bunch of crooks. Chad, let's talk. What's going on?
Hi, so I bought a phone off of Facebook Marketplace about a week ago.
Now, Facebook Marketplace is the, you saw the ad on Facebook. Mark, is that a separate platform, a separate...
Yeah, I've never used it, but yes, it's a separate platform, and you can sell, I assume, individual to individual or company to individual,
was this peer-to-peer? They're trying to be like Amazon, basically.
But I think it's more like trying to be like eBay.
Now, was it a peer-to-peer purchase?
Yes, it's kind of like Craigslist.
Okay.
And I purchased this phone.
So it's the Wild West is what he's saying.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I purchased this phone. I didn't really vet it because I've never bought a phone like this. It was brand new. He gave it to me. I paid $220 for it, and I went to transfer it into my name. They said that T-Mobile had to release it because I have Verizon.
And they won't release it if money is owed.
Happens all the time.
Yes, and there's $265 that's owed on it. And I tried to contact him,
It happens all the time. You know what? This is one of our topics today that we have to highlight so people don't forget. Every day we have things that people need to know. And this is for used phones. There is essentially no way to safely buy a used cell phone.
Unless you meet with the person, activate it under your account, and right in front of them, then pay them. How much is that phone worth, though?
It's worth $400 brand new.
How much did you pay for it?
$220.
Well, you've got a decision. Now you cop up the other $250 or whatever you said, and you got a working phone.
You know you're not going to ever find the guy, right?
Yeah, I did find him. I have his address.
Oh, wait,
roommate's number.
This is one of those cases where do the police care? No. Does anyone care?
No, but I'll go call the guy right now. You got his phone?
Yeah. Where is he located?
Well, I have his phone, but I have his roommate's number, or not numbers, but their Facebook.
Where is he located?
Home address.
Where is he located?
Inglewood.
Now you can find his old his phone number he had on your phone, and that's still probably his phone number. He probably, or no, he could.
You can port.
But he couldn't get it ported because he owed money.
No, you can. They stopped that. The Fed stopped it. You can port your number. Doesn't matter anything.
Even if you owe money.
Yes, you can port your number.
Now, do you know what his old number was, which will probably be his number now?
No, his roommates kind of say that he's a bum, and they were expecting him to do something like this, and
Does he still live there? Does he still live there?
Yes.
Okay, you can go to small claims court. He won't show up. You'll get a default judgment, but nothing will happen. He's a bum.
Okay.
Now,
meanwhile, you don't have a phone.
I want to expose him on the air, though.
And
hey, let's call him up and see. Let's give him a prize, maybe dinner, if he can come on and answer a question.
I wonder if his phone will work.
We got to try to get him. We got to try to get him. That strange voice you heard was not introduced earlier because he was late. But
he's strange looking.
He's Al Aramis from Pro Auto Care.
Sorry, I had car problems.
Perpetually late every car day he's on.
You just called me out.
No, and I'm saying this. From now on, the rule is that if you're the late one, you buy the lunch.
Why from now on?
Well, because from here, today
I lost my wallet.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, well, we can't go retroactive and charge him for
And
lunch.
by the way, we're getting Del Frisco's for lunch today.
Well,
I was thinking that.
303-713-TALK. Anyway, Al Aramis is with Pro Auto Care. We have Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission, Jesse Schillinger from Honest Accurate Auto, and he's down in the Springs. If you have any car questions, today is the day. For example, we have Sean with a Cadillac and Robin with a Chevy Silverado. And then we're talking about purchasing a car in Kansas City. All of that coming right up.
It's Marty with a way to help you win. Are you paying hundreds of
dollars? See if you get the roommate on.
Right?
What's that?
The roommate on
You
the
want
phone.
to do the trivia deal? Why not?
What's that?
Oh, we're going to say, hey, we got a question for you. If you can answer it, we're going to buy you lunch.
You want me to tell that to the roommate?
To the guy that's holding the phone. The roommate we don't care about. See if we can get that on. If that doesn't work, then see what you can get out of the roommate. And we're not lying. We will. If he can answer the question, we will buy him lunch. Or actually, Al will buy him lunch.
I was on time last time I was here. But nobody felt...
You understand we can go to the video.
I actually have documentation.
Documentation that you were here on time. Okay. It's the front desk.
Exactly right. I wrote in the time correctly.
On time.
Wrote it incorrect. Did anybody see you write it incorrectly? Did anybody double check as you wrote in the time?
You know, when you work for a big corporation, you always sign your own time clock.
Yeah. Right. Well, you know, everything's gone to the key cards now, so you can't cheat. So it's so funny. My daughter, she works at the hospital.
What am I doing here? Okay, I gotta fix it, and it's long.
She walks in the door.
Guys, quiet. Mic's on. Let's talk about Fix It 24/7. The website is fixmyhome.com. I've known this company theoretically for years and years and years because the owner, George, who took it over. And do you know that they grew 700% in the first 6 months because they do it right? The culture is one of doing something extra. The culture is one of not only doing the right thing, but doing the better thing and doing more. So, for $39, they'll find any problem anywhere in your home on any system, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. And when they find it, they'll offer you solutions. You don't have to take them. You only pay $39. If you do take them, they'll apply that $39, so you don't even pay for that call technically. It's taken off of the job done, and the job done is 100% satisfaction guaranteed for the best value, for the same parts, labor, and everything they do. They just stand behind their work. They love what they do. And you have to experience them. I did, and I continue to. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like...
Man, that was good. Mike on, dead silence.
Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can
I'm trying to be compliant.
comes along.
Like training the dog to sit. Sooner or later, it takes.
The Ritalин's working, and
So car problems on the way in, huh?
Yeah, too many of them at the shop. It was just nuts, man. It's gotten crazy for us.
Hey, I feel you.
It's been that way for over a month. Trying to keep up.
That's what Budget said too last week.
What's that?
Just crazy busy automotive is killing it.
But
you guys the same way?
Is the heat doing that?
There's a good portion of it, yeah.
Yeah, a good portion of it. People just neglected their cars. I think for the first half of the year, it wasn't really busy for anybody that I talked to. Most people just okay. And then all of a sudden, it's like the heat came out.
Well, and I think it's cyclical too. I mean, you know, we used to see a trend back, you know, a decade
guys,
ago.
I'm going to soon have financing available for you guys at about 4% up to 12 years. Obviously, you wouldn't take that, but 640 credit score, down to 640 credit score, instant approval with a portal.
For the customers?
Yep. You guys, they'll be able to log right in. They'll qualify.
Beauty that.
You'll get qualified right then.
4%.
I've had so many problems trying to deal with people
Bad
who
credit
finance
might
people.
be 7%. I mean, we're talking no fees. Zero fees to you, zero cost to you too. No, you don't have to pay. They don't have to pay.
That's awesome.
The fees, we're down half our
I've
profit.
had so many of these companies that are just abusive as hell when it comes to it.
This is going to be mine.
I used to use Wells Fargo, so if I sold a new computer...
Okay, guys, one more. One
6
more.
months notice.
Thank you. Okay, I'll tell you when the mic goes on. It's not on yet.
The problem was, if they go one day over, man...
Mic's on. The website, idealhomeloans.com. You can actually start the process there. Or call and start it there, 303-867-7000. They can close in 3 weeks or less. When I say start the process, that's because they do not have to do the old song and dance and the shuffle. They will give you good, straight, honest answers, information, and process your loan the best for you. They pick the loan best for you. There's not one size fits all. They also have credit optimization. Even though you pass, even though you're approved, they still can tweak your credit. Maybe pay down a balance by $40 or $50. There was a case where they paid down a balance by $40 or $50. The guy paid that and got a $200 reduction in monthly payments. There are all kinds of ways to save money. Ideal Home Loans, the best loan for you. That's why it's an ideal loan. So I always say, for your ideal home loan, go to Ideal Home Loans, and you can get started because they don't have to do any hard sales job. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
This report is sponsored by...
Al, did you tell Mark that you took me to Greece?
No phone number.
Took what?
You didn't tell Tom you took me to Greece and left him behind?
I didn't hear you, man.
Greece.
So you didn't tell Tom you took me to Greece and you left him behind?
What happened with Greece?
We went on a cruise.
Did you?
World
What
Pack.
station?
World Pack took us all on a cruise.
So he has no idea.
We ran in on the boat.
I'm like,
Auto people, right?
yeah.
It was
And that
nothing
if you buy a certain amount?
He only went.
Yeah, they give you forecast and it's based off of
Tell me if this is true. Do you ever get the impression that's why I'm paying so much?
All right, just come on and
do this cruise?
So in other words, the guy really has
It
nothing.
backfired. Hold on, it backfired one time.
Address?
Remain nameless. They did it for advertising. And the advertisers started thinking, fuck the cruise, give me better rates.
Go, Jose.
Tom Martino here on the only show of its kind anywhere. We're going through 2 o'clock. Remember, we go 10 to 2. And then, of course, you have other shows from 2 to 4. You got Michael Brown. Then you got Dan Kaplis. What a lineup. And I follow Ross Kaminsky. Now, listen.
Who's after Dan? I don't know. Who's after Kaplis? I mean, with all the switches, I don't know. Do you know? Honest to God.
Oh, by the way, if you're looking for Sean Hannity, I hope you stick with me. If you want to go to Sean, he's on 760, Freedom Radio. They're also on an FM, right? Didn't they take an FM signal, too, for 760? 93.7. Did that used to be the other FM? Oh, okay. So does KOA still...
Talk over air, Shannon.
Does KOA still have an FM as well?
Yeah, 94.1.
Okay, so both of our big AMs, the political AM is 760, Freedom Radio, that has an FM signal, and KOA has an FM signal. So, well, you know, we're just a big, happy family of radio stations, and I'm on 10 to 2. Please pass that around because it is the place to go when you have nowhere else to go. What about Chad? What are we doing about this cell phone that he bought from a deadbeat? Did you call them, Dano?
We have no numbers. The only way to get through a hold of them is through Facebook.
Okay.
We got addresses and names, but no phone numbers.
Should we have people bombard his Facebook? I think we should.
I think that's a great idea. What is his Facebook?
Chad, I think we should go on Facebook and find the guy's page, and everyone should send a message saying, we heard about you, you dirty, rotten piece of garbage.
Because I messaged everyone in his friends list telling him what a piece of garbage he is. And
okay,
that's how I got responses and his address.
Good. I want to do this. So how do we get to his Facebook? What's the slash after Facebook.com?
His name is Ashton Hastings.
Now, is it Ashton as an A-S-H?
It is, yeah, A-S-H-T-O-N.
Okay, Ashton what?
Hastings. H-A-S-T-I-N-G-S.
Gotcha. And how did you find his Facebook?
That's how we met when he sold me the phone.
Okay.
We just talked in the messenger to meet up.
Okay. We need to figure this one out. We do. We need to figure out how to do this. Suzanne.
Send you guys screenshots?
No. I want to tell people how to get to his Facebook page.
What does his profile picture look like?
I want to tell people how to get to the shortcut.
It's like the back of his head. He's wearing like a jean coat.
Found it.
You found it? Okay. How'd you find it, Suzanne? What did you type in there?
He has a backpack on.
Yes.
Man bun. Yeah.
Yes.
How'd you do it?
Man bun.
Did you just search Ashton? Okay. Listen, we're going to go to war with this guy. Get this information from Chad so we can stay in touch with him. You know, it's only $250, but what a scumbag. Selling his phone, knowing the guy couldn't get it activated. Man, you know what? People, God. You know.
You got it. Going back to what you said, though, you have to be so careful buying a phone from a private party.
Sean, let's talk. 2015 Cadillac, what's going on?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, so I've been taking my Cadillac to a dealership in the Springs. That's where I live. I've been taking it there ever since I bought it. I bought it used with 41,000 miles. I drive quite a bit, pretty much all freeway driving, and I get it serviced regularly there at that dealership and get my oil changes there all the time. I've put 41,000 miles on the car also since I bought it, so it now has 82,000 miles on it.
And what is the problem? I mean, so far I'm hearing you bought a car. What went wrong?
Well, I come to find out the other day I got to looking, and I discovered that they've been putting the wrong oil weight in the car.
All right, hold on. Did you buy it from, where'd you buy it? From who?
I bought it from a used car dealership up in Inglewood.
Okay, who?
Gosh, I can't remember the name of the place. That's not who I take the car to get it serviced.
You don't know who. So, but okay. So, what I'm getting at is, who put the oil in it that was wrong? Was it the previous owner, or was it the dealership, or do you know?
And the dealership has been doing it ever since. The dealership.
How do you know that?
It's probably on the invoice, but what oil were they putting in?
How do you know? Did the dealership own it for a long time? I mean, dealerships don't often.
No. I bought ever since I bought the car. I go to the same dealership to get my oil change done.
I got it. How many times have you had your oil done?
Oh, probably 7, 8 times.
Okay, so 7 or 8 times. Now,
right?
Wrong oil.
40,000 miles worth.
How many miles worth?
40,000 miles worth.
When you say wrong, when you say wrong oil, define wrong.
It's the wrong viscosity.
Big deal. Okay. Did you have any adverse effects? Did you have overheating? Did you have knocking? Did you have
but was it supposed to be 020 and it was 1040? What was it?
I don't think it's going to make a big deal for 40,000 miles, but I want to know what exactly did you find out? Go ahead.
Okay. So there's oil residue coming out from my dipstick tube now. So to me that indicates that there's excessive engine blow-by. Plus there's oil buildup inside the air intake can where your filter is, where the air filter is.
Do you know what the kind of oil they put in versus what's recommended? Do you know?
Well, they put full synthetic in it. Supposedly, that's what the invoice says.
What
it's
viscosity?
Just the wrong weight.
What viscosity?
They put 020 in it.
Okay.
And my car requires 530.
Okay.
It's a 2-liter.
Guys, can you just tell them the facts of life and the reality? The reality, okay? Just tell them the reality. 40,000 miles on 530 instead of 020.
So the weights and
not
viscosity...
not fairy tales, real stuff.
No, the real stuff. Remember that weights and oils are for the different temperature ranges and operation, okay? Oil weights and viscosity. Yes, 5W30 is what that car... I had that vehicle. The synthetic that they're putting is a superior oil. It operates in a greater range. It's a great oil. So
let's get right to it. Would it do him harm for 40,000 miles?
Absolutely not. That's my opinion.
In all actuality, GM in colder temperatures recommends a 030 for that.
What I'm saying is, now, Sean, I want you to be straight with me. If you're looking for an excuse because there are things wrong with the car and now you're going to hang your hat on this, it's a weak one. If you think they screwed you somehow, but you bought it from them, and were you told you have an engine problem right now?
No, I know there's something wrong with it.
Okay,
because
but
there's excessive blow-by.
There's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with it was not caused by the oil at 40,000 miles. Or if it is excessive blow-by, it'll go away when you put the right one in.
Well, a car actually runs smoother with the right weight in it. I found that out because yesterday I took it back to the dealership when I discovered that they'd been putting the wrong oil in it.
Good.
And I had them change it again, and the car actually runs smoother with the 530 in it.
Then you solved your problem.
Too.
That's great. Great stuff. You did the right thing.
What about if there's excessive engine wear on the piston rings because of this?
How many miles on this vehicle?
82,000 miles.
Okay, and you put 40 on him, right?
I put 40 on it, yes.
Okay, Sean, this is just our opinion, okay? Just our opinion. I'm going to go around the block. My opinion, you have 0 damage, and you have no case, and you're due nothing. Okay, that's just my opinion. Al?
Yeah, I was weighing on this. What you're seeing on the dipstick.
If you did this with a customer, what would you owe them? Let's just do that.
Nothing.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it's well lubricated, and we're making an assumption that this is a CTS probably.
It's not going to do ring damage. That's for damn sure.
Is it CTS?
Yeah.
It's an ATS.
Right?
ATS.
Okay, similar. So here's the deal. All motors are going to have buildup. All of them will have issues. You got to do the oil changes very good. But there runs a period of time where you need to flush these motors too. Clean the inside of them and stuff. You want to weigh in on that?
Jesse, your turn.
Well,
just give an opinion.
They're
zero.
It's not going to do anything. So
okay.
No, it's not going to do anything. And like I said, in all actuality, in colder temperatures, GM actually reduces it down to 0.
Now we have three
Not
more.
on that engine. You're right.
Yes, on that engine.
Sean, if you know everything, my question is, if you know everything, why would you bother to ask 3 certified mechanics who have had years and years and years of experience and have serviced
What I know is
thousands?
what was in the manual, and I read it.
So
and
you
it said
feel,
for
what
the
do you feel?
alternative
What do you feel
oil
is safe?
grade-
Sean, we've already determined they're wrong, okay? They were technically wrong. You don't have to make the
Right.
case. Now I'm asking you, what do you believe that you are owed?
Well, I think they should probably do a cylinder leak down test to verify if there's excessive ring wear or not. And if there is, where do I go from there? That is why I called.
Even if there is ring wear, there will be never, ever, ever a way for you to trace it to that. And you shouldn't, because it wouldn't cause that.
It even says in the manual that it can cause engine damage. Now, I could see if it was just once or twice, you know, something like that.
I'm Tom Martino.
This is Denver's talk station.
Wait, he wants to.
He's a nightmare customer guy.
Oh, hell
You know
yeah.
what? He may find some leak down problem. It's not from that. You know
80,000
what? This is
miles.
the case. This guy, for the rest of his life, will blame anything about that, anything that happens with that car.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't call
But
for it.
the wrong way to do it.
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to add. I was going to say, those motors have blow by.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to recommend you for problem solving anymore.
I'm wondering.
Hey, Suzanne,
I'm not going to eat.
I do.
Mark and I don't eat.
So then get yourself in the
Oh, come on. I'm going to eat. So,
Wing pizza or Jimmy John's? Anthony's. Little Rick didn't cut it last time.
Okay, you want me to do Anthony's?
Yeah,
It'll probably be in the 1 o'clock because it's so late.
whatever we can.
We'll just need
Tom said I had to
appetizers
stay
in
till 2,
between.
Hey,
so
listen.
it's all right.
Listen, what about...
You don't have to use all.
A wish biscuit.
Tom said I had to stay till 2, so we'll be
You're
good.
right.
I got a commercial,
Here's
15
yellow,
seconds.
here's yellow one.
Suzanne, I've tried Ashton Hastings. It doesn't come up.
I emailed you the link.
I know, but Okay, got it. Mic's on. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. It is car day. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, you won't do better than Rocky's for selection and for friendliness. And guess what? Financing available, 40 lenders to choose from, and they own all of those cars outright. You know, you may think that's not a big deal. It is. They don't have bank loans. They have to worry about interest accumulating on these cars on the lot. They can sell them for what they want, anytime they want, without checking with a bank, without adding interest to that price. Why don't you check it out for yourself? Just shop around. No one faults you for that. But put Rocky's on the list. Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturdays 9 to 6. That's Rocky'sAutos.com, 63rd and Federal. 303-426-4646. They have the 3 big elements: product, price, and process. The 3 P's, and that's the way to do it. You'll get a Carfax with every car and be confident. Rocky's.
Which one goes?
I went to your email and checked the mail I sent you and opened the link. So that's him. He's right here.
Come up in my, okay, good.
It's the one where the guy had his backpack on?
Yeah, but when I searched Ashton,
yeah, but
I did not get it.
But it says he's in like Illinois or something.
Two things. Francis, I wrote it in there. That's the number I have on my thing.
He says
so,
that is there's no Francis at that number. I have no idea.
Okay, I must have wrote it down wrong.
Suzanne, is this the guy verified? Is this guy, he says, is in Ohio or something?
Tuscaloosa,
That
Illinois.
is right. That's who he. I mean, I said, does he have a backpack? He said jean jacket, backpack, man bun. He says yes. That was only one that came up. So okay, so forget that. All right.
And he's in Ohio.
Well, I don't know. I can call. Maybe we call the guy back. But yeah, that's who he told me.
He's like 23, 24 years old.
He's not going to take him to court. He's not going to do anything. $200 all that time.
Oh, Suzanne, I think we're missing some headphones. I don't know if
I wonder if Daphne took them.
I've only found one in there.
This is mine, and then what else?
We'll have to. Okay, we'll need to ask Daphne.
We're going to need to put. Let's bring one of our big ones up and put it here.
Now, what do we want to do on audio?
I'm sure we'll get
that
complaints.
Well, I think we can do it. We can do it just
Mark,
in case.
Can we bring up one of the big filing cabinets and put it here?
This is what I leave.
Complaints? Yes.
I'm going to ask. I don't think we'll get complaints.
And we were going to do the shorter one.
We should honestly, that way Brown would have room.
Well, no, it's only two drawers. We can bring a 3-drawer up.
Let's bring a
No, but we can have, who cares if there's 2 drawers, you just put a little thing in the middle. Us and Ross can share, and then the afternoon guys, what's the big deal?
In there. We want
I'll ask Tim though.
Because he brings snacks.
Who?
Ross.
Does he?
No.
Nah. He's stirring shit. He is stirring shit.
Shit stir. Let's see here.
It's getting comfortable, man. He stirred it up.
I don't know what we do on the audio ones.
I think we do the same thing.
I was going to try to find out how we see if that guy's on the
because I
marketplace.
never.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe we duct tape those.
But I don't know Facebook like that, so I don't know
because sometimes you got to go in there and go like this.
God, then we need a different splitter.
We've tried several of them.
Oh, so do you think it's
is that
this?
Where it's from, maybe?
Is that on this?
Right.
Do we have another one of these?
Well, it says it's his current city, so I don't know.
Do we have another male-to-male?
What is this?
3.5, I
so
would
that ATF.
Now lately it's been okay.
Because that's one of the most important parts, honestly, is the damn audio.
Short floors. Short floors.
And when this happens,
I'll let you know when, guys. I'm not on yet.
Okay.
Say it again.
So here's card trivia. What does ATF stand for?
Both together.
Mike's on.
Alpha Tauri.
This website's going to save you 20, 30, 40, even 50% at times on floor coverings. I've used them personally. And Mark has, and everyone I know has. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Yeah, they're at 52nd and Ward, and you can get yourself, just go up there and you can see them. But here's the bottom line. If you call, you can make an appointment, 303-456-4660, or just go to Simply Floors Inc. and make your own appointment. You got it. That's SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Why did we do it that way anyhow?
I can't figure out how to find a
So
single
what's the CTS stand for Cadillac? Is that the city tour?
It must be. I had no idea.
For where?
General Motors. They call it engine to passenger partition.
Go.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to help you with your problems, questions, complaints. The only show that does it. We're on till 2.
So please keep the calls coming. Tom, what about buying a car in Kansas City? First of all, buying a car online in general, there are some rules. And then there are rules for long-distance buying. So let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Good morning, Tom.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
I am going to buy my sister's car in Kansas City.
Oh, that makes it easy. You know her. Good.
Yes, I do. But, Tom, the car has been driven in about 2 years. It's been sitting she's in a retirement village there in Kansas City.
It's not registered.
And, pardon me?
It's not registered?
Yes, it's registered. Yeah, the tags are all good and stuff like that. Okay.
Good.
And what has happened is I went back to see her since I'm their caregiver. I went back there and I tried to start the car. The car is a Prius 2015.
Ow.
The battery doesn't turn over and stuff, and it's been sitting there. And I'm wondering.
No. How long has it been sitting there, and was it inside or outside?
It's outside.
It was never on a trickle charger, not on a charger, obviously.
No. It's a 5-door. It has 50,000 miles. It hasn't been turned over. I tried to start it twice when I went back. The battery's got a lithium battery, doesn't turn over, nothing turns on and stuff like that. And I'm worried about dry rot also for the tires if it's been sitting that long. And then I want to know if I'm going to have oil, transmission,
So here's what we're going to do. Let's take one step at a time. Al knows Priuses more than anyone here. So I don't know, Jesse,
Well,
have you worked on Priuses? I didn't know that. Okay, but
yeah, he's smarter and better.
No, but Al Al was the go-to guy before. And hold on one sec. I want to take one system at a time, all right?
Sure, absolutely.
What does he do with the batteries?
So he's got two batteries in that vehicle. He's got the vehicle battery that starts the vehicle, runs the starter, and he's got the hybrid battery, which is basically under the rear seat of that car, on the rear
That's
seats.
the driving battery.
Yeah, it's a driving battery, and that's not
Deep
the one we're
cycle.
looking at. We're looking to fire this thing up, so we need to get the vehicle started. On those Priuses, typically under the hood, there's in many cases, when those batteries are so dead, you're not going to be able to jump.
So I think with 2 years, he should buy a new one.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
that's the first thing, a new battery. Now let's move on
next thing.
to the gas part of the engine.
Right. So the motors and fluids, obviously, they get degraded.
Right.
The best thing you could possibly do is get into a shop, drain these fluids, do an inspection. He talked about tires and dry rot.
But first,
okay,
first, if you're going to go to a shop, then the battery is a no-brainer. Not the deep cycle battery, but the starting battery. Then you want the engine fluids changed. Oil. What else is there? There's oil, right? I mean, and fluids. Cooling.
Transmission. If the transmission has been sitting there, will that since it hasn't been?
I'm not sure that has to be done. What about it?
Yeah,
What do
you
think,
definitely
Jeff?
want to change that transmission fluid too. Transmission fluid will actually absorb moisture out of the air over time.
Transmission, coolant, and oil. Brake fluid, even really?
Once again, it
breaks
absorbs
down,
moisture
man.
in a big way.
So I guess all the fluids. So you need a shop that's really going to do this and not do a wall job.
It's worth doing it to the vehicle.
Right.
now.
Okay. So once all that's done, now he's concerned tires. For sure, he has a problem with tires.
Maybe, but you got to read the date codes on the tire.
But if they're sitting there for 2 years in one spot,
If you're not dry rotty, read date codes. If it's still within and not dry rot, you can do that.
Okay.
Here's what I'm concerned about. How long has this thing been dead? He may not know that. The computers, when everything goes dead,
reprogramming.
are we going to start communicating? That's a CAN system.
You're
closed area
right.
network.
Even the internals that tells it when to switch back and forth and do everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the Prius is pretty good because it burns the program within it, but those are the concerns. You agree on that? Yeah.
100%. So I would say you need a Prius mechanic, not just any shop.
You can find Toyota specialists in Kansas City. Absolutely. That's what I would recommend.
I've got one. Gentlemen, excuse me. I got the paperwork all done. I'm going to go back there in 2 weeks, and I've got a dealer there in Kansas City that I've made an appointment with that's going to do all this thing that we're talking about. I just want to.
How much will all that cost,
I'm
Al?
doing the right stuff by doing all this
yes,
stuff.
for sure. Now, at 2015, if you're asking, is it worth it? You're damn sure. If you didn't pay for this car, or did you?
No, my sister did.
Man, how much will all this cost?
The service work?
All of it.
$300 to $500, depending on what it needs.
Yeah, oh my God, let's just say $1,000. It's well worth it.
Yeah, it's a great car. You're not getting something that's garbage. It's very reliable, and it's got great resale.
And guess what? It has good MPG. I
are you kidding me?
Online.
I mean, you can hang your head out the door and
You're going to drive back from Kansas City on pocket change.
Absolutely. I mean, people might look at you funny, but that's okay.
Good. And
Tom, let us know.
Tom, I found out that in Missouri they were having you had to do a safety check. Missouri has a. Well, guess what? As of August, I checked with the state. They no longer require it anymore.
You know what? I think safety checks are a good idea. More people have gotten ripped off without them. Really, they are. Now, some people say, no, I don't want them. That's because they want to be able to cheap out and not have, but they're not going to have a safe car.
Now,
anyways, the reason GM does not call it a firewall is because, according to them, they do not have fires. They have thermal events.
Hot thermal, which could be atomic, could be.
It's not a firewall.
They say their cars do not catch fire. We have thermal events. They don't call it a firewall.
Thermonuclear.
That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff.
Hey, is there a big deal? Say you have
Yes, it's
Denver,
huge.
It's
oil.
huge.
And all you got is a 24.
Obviously, you couldn't do both with
Put
that.
it in there just to fill it up to get by. Is that a big deal when mixing viscosity?
Generally, when you do that, you go to the lowest common denominator. So that 2040 adds a little bit thicker, but I mean, you're not going to get.
I'm saying mix it in. The oil's already there, but you need to get a quart in there to get by.
You get by, and then you go change it out. Like I said, you will go to your lowest common denominator as your protection.
You're in the middle of Kansas trying to get back somewhere. I'll be mixing it before I do nothing.
You shouldn't mix whole synthetic with regular, right?
No, and some of the petroleum guys that I've talked to say that that's not as much of an issue as it used to be, but I still think it's good practice. Don't fool with it.
That was a question I knew, and you guys both passed the test.
Wow, this was an exciting day.
No.
My goodness. We might
Gotcha. Mike's on. IconEyecare.com, the place I went for my clear lens exchange. That's a phenomenal procedure. It's actually cataract surgery, but I don't have cataracts. You don't have to have cataracts to have clear lenses that focus. Now, if you have cataracts, it's even better because you get your insurance or Medicare to cover the actual cataracts. You just pay for the upgrade. Or maybe LASIK. They have done thousands of LASIK procedures. When it comes to all eye care, Icon Eye Care. IconEyecare.com.
I'm going to get a...
All right, we got more trivia, folks. Okay.
If that guy typed on mine, if I put 020 in my 530 in,
we were talking automotive stuff,
he probably went to Google and typed that in.
You've heard the CTS. What does CTS stand for?
You know, a lot of those names and initials don't stand for shit, right? I mean, like, they do, but honestly, I don't know CTS. What?
So catch this.
So it was the continuation of the
Catera. What do they call that? Cadillac Catera? Which was a piece of garbage.
The car that zigs?
That's what it stood for. It's the Catera Touring Sedan.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
that's what CTS
the Ford GT350H. Everybody wants to hunt down one of those H's. What was the H?
This one's been pretty good for a while
Hertz.
now.
Those cars were designated for Hertz rental cars. That's all it was.
What was?
The GT350H. So you have the GT350, GT350H, GT500s. The H was originally built for Hertz rental cars. That was
no way.
What? The numbers often are engine size, right? Like with my G550, it's 5.5.
For Benzes it is. It's always been engine size.
But it's not for others?
No.
Like the 190 was 1.9, right?
Yeah, but like an F-150 is a half ton, 250 is a 3/4 ton.
That number designation.
I just wonder how good that connector is too, though.
But it's like Honda S2000. The 2000. What is 2000? It was a 2.0 engine, and they called it the 2000.
2000 cc.
Exactly, but it's most people are gonna be like, what is that?
That's just a nice car name. It's a futuristic name.
American Restoration coming up, right? I got that here.
Can't tell if we're on or not.
I'm going to get a longer one, too.
I don't know why you need one.
6 feet. I want to put the sound card up on the light. So you can put it up there every day and run the new cable.
We'll just hang the cable down.
And I'll get one of those reels.
Tuck it up and then pull it down.
Go to Harbor Freight and go get the recoil reel.
We should do something.
That would look high tech.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
This guy's asking Chevy Malibu with CVT. What's you guys' take on that?
As far as is it a great
you
car?
You guys don't like CVTs at all, right?
We have wonderful cars at our shop. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to say that. They're still on the road, believe it or not.
Are they starting to get rid of them?
With the CVTs?
No.
No. Nissan's putting all their eggs in that basket.
They're all off the diving board.
I heard they're in R&D to put one in a Titan.
Nissan, yeah.
They're going to put it inside a half-ton truck. It's not working in the Central. Let's put it in a half-ton truck.
Yeah, but the Rogue's got no problems whatsoever.
No, not at all. I got a tool in the shop right now.
God, what a piece of
garbage. You get one a week of those. All you need is a transmission. Don't worry about it. CVT will throw it in and we're good.
There you go. $5,200, you're down the road.
Nissan sells them all day long.
Mike's on! fire, flood, a storm, windstorm, mold, chemical contamination, toxins, asbestos, somebody turned your house into a meth lab you're renting out, or you find lead. Listen, any of these things can be classified as a holy, you know what. American Restoration 24/7. When you say holy moly, American Restoration 24/7. Honest to goodness. For honest help in restoring. Stopping the damage first and then restoring, or any part of it. 8337 AM-REST.
I can't not emphasize enough, do not buy your CVTs from Nissan.
You mean factory OEM?
You're not buying from factory OEM Nissan.
Why?
Well, they only warranty them for 12 months, 12,000 miles. And Mark and I've already been talking this. I actually have to file suit, but they
fuck! I keep it.
Yeah.
Send me an email. Oh, you never sent me the email.
So
this hour has been brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
A new website, by the way, debuting last week and this week. So check him out for buying and selling real estate. And as I say, you'll never do better. I mean that. I mean, this guy is overboard for negotiating. And if you're buying, he has saved me so much money. He's gone to expired listings and gotten them for me. And in other times, he's gotten people who didn't even think they wanted to sell. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay, so purchasing a car in Kansas City, I think we answered him. We're done with Tom there. Suzanne, let's talk to Mike about check fraud. Mike, what's happening with you, sir?
Hi, Tom. I hope I don't get the bomb like the other guy.
Well, the guy deserved it. Let's face it. He deserved it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I was told to email Deputy Dan, and then he recommended that I just call the show.
Okay, what's going on?
For 18 months, I've been fighting the Aurora Schools Federal Credit Union. I was very sick, and while I was sick, somebody stole a bunch of my blank checks and fraudulently wrote $45,000 of checks.
Wait a minute. Where did they steal them from?
My house.
Was it a housekeeper?
Well, she had done cleaning. She was the daughter of a lady friend of mine. And while I was not in the house, she found these blank checks. And
where were you convalescing?
Well, all over, hospitals, all kinds of things. I have tons of documentation. I told Dan this in the email. But it's
so how much money?
Long story.
But if she used, I just need to tell you this. If she used original stuff, original checks, did she forge your name?
Yes, and misspelled them on every one. And
now,
some,
did you get her arrested?
Not even a signature.
Did you get her arrested?
A 500-page investigation from Aurora detectives, and he didn't turn it over to the DA
because she had apparent authority.
Well, no, she did not.
Then
why?
This is
his daughter. She's 20
Mike, I'm not saying she had apparent authority. I am saying that might be one of the excuses they give for not prosecuting. Why did they not turn it over?
Because the detective said the DA would say I was in cahoots with her.
Hello? Did you what did I just say? What did I? Apparent authority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, apparent.
Okay.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I understand.
Now, in cahoots, meaning that she was going to take the money so you could collect twice.
Right, and it was
except if you were in cahoots with her,
from an IRA.
If you were in cahoots with her, why would you have her arrested and foil your plan? Because you'd only be paid because you wouldn't be paid twice. Well, you kind of would be, I guess, and she would have to take the hit. Maybe she would do it for 20 grand. Listen. They must have a reason. Mike, I don't know you, and I'm not saying it's true. In fact, I don't think you'd bother calling me if you were perpetrating a scam. Why do you think they believe that?
Well, I don't know, because when I was in a walker and a cane for a while, and
but why do you think they believe it for a reason? Did you ever let her use it in any case?
He was about to. They say.
Yeah, her mother, I gave limited power of attorney to pay my bills while I was
parent
unable.
authority, got it. Okay.
Exactly.
And if she gave it to the daughter, it is your authority by proxy.
But she didn't give her.
Well,
authority.
how do you know?
Well,
Are you
she
still
was very surprised.
You still with the woman?
No, well, we talk, but other than that, that's about it.
Does she have a new car? Okay, hold on. We're going to come right back to this.
Do you know someone with depression? Hi, this is Ed Green.
I think the okie doke.
I think the mother was
young. I think it's the okie doke.
Not so him. I don't think the okie doke was right.
No, so he was.
No, I think the woman did.
Yeah.
The woman and her daughter said, "Hey, man, let's get some money."
But he let her use it.
Well, that's right. That's the apparent authority, which he said, no, it wasn't that.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not his parent. Why do you say that? I had him. It was hook, line, and sinker.
He was almost going.
It was his uncle,
So
not his parent.
There's only a 12/12 warranty.
Yeah.
They do not cover labor in any way, shape, or form.
I told you to send me that.
Yeah, I know. I need to get
Marty,
together
you
with you to
should have said
figure
that
out
on the air.
how to write it all up. So
If you send me the info, I'll write it up for you.
okay.
That's what I'll do. Just email it to me.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
should have said that on the air about a parent.
So, but anyway, so it's you can get them.
No, Tom, they're not related.
18-month warranty, 18,000 warranty rather. They cover at least portions of warranty. Or certified, which comes with a 100,000.
I'm laying low. That's all I'm doing.
Did you see that?
When we
I
first
landed
did
it right
the
in
first
between
Nissan
the
I
trash
was
can
probably
and the
5
file
years ago.
cabinet.
So does that mean you
And of
suck
course, at
double?
that time, certified
And it's
wasn't
pointing
into it.
exactly
But
how I
now,
wanted it to point.
certified does all
Not
that
only
for
did
you.
I
They do
land
warranty.
it, but I
They do much
pointed it.
better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we don't use Nissan.
Yeah, they're warranty.
Bullshit.
But they have.
No, it's not. First of all, bullshit.
Nissan's the only
If
one
me
that
and you
does
bet,
transmission.
before you say
I haven't had a
let me give
technician
an
that said you
example.
can't get one of these outside of
If
Nissan.
me and you
I've built
bet
some of them.
that this
You know,
water
I talked to another
weighs
Mike
more
over there
than
at
the
Amco.
same exact
He-
size bottle
years
of
ago wasn't
Kool-Aid
doing
here,
it, but they've
okay?
gotten into CBD.
If we bet this,
So
it doesn't matter what
it
size
must be
these are.
opening up for you.
And it
guys.
turned out
well,
that the
parts are becoming more and more
water
available.
wasn't water.
Because
It
for
was
a long
actually
time,
like,
you couldn't
let's
get a
say,
whole parts.
That's
They
what I
get
was
them through A and
of
Lead for a
course
while.
we know
That
lead. It
great
was
success.
misrepresented.
And then they just got out.
Therefore,
because
the
it was
bet
so
would be off,
repeatable.
right?
Right, because
It depends.
That
depending
right
on
there
which unit.
proves.
But the most common thing we find is
Of course it
the
does.
pulleys
Wow,
themselves.
he established the premise before we even entered into
He
the
bet
bet.
Go ahead. What was the bet?
The bet was
Really?
that his
And it
car,
wears out
My
inside the-
2018
Okay.
car
Sunday.
Replace those
Weighed
replace pulleys.
within
Sometimes
750 pounds of Tom's 2017.
There's not like a valve body in that.
There is a
No,
valve
Tom's
body.
So they're not having problems with that stuff?
Valve bodies are not that
There
concern.
was.
No,
It wasn't. Tom said it was a 2017.
Order in the court.
Okay.
Order.
Tom
Order
said
in
it was a 2017.
I might call you on the next one. Maybe we'll
I
set it up
said
and
my
do it.
car's worth 750,000 hits.
So as carryouts, it's a little bit.
His
more
car
difficult
turned out to
simply
be a
because of the cost
2014.
I usually don't carry
I
that.
said the
Generally, anytime I do a
investigated
whole car
because I'm
left,
looking up.
because I don't want to have.
I'm looking up the damn. I'm looking up the other
He's
deal.
telling me for 18 months, then I got to take it back out and send it back.
There he goes.
Okay, Al, you heard the story. That's it. What do you think? That's the deal.
That's what I do with Amco too. If I work with them on a couple of deals, something over, I'll send something over. The whole car.
That's the way we
That was
do it.
how
Because if you get to the occasional axle cylinder, or solenoid's that,
Right.
it's a lot easier to
Tom
control
said
that
his
stuff
car
in-house.
was a 17.
Here's
You know,
the
it's
problem
real,
with
and
that
they'll
whole
get
thing.
the car.
There were
Bring
a
it
lot
up.
of vague
Yeah.
pieces. Everybody made the assumption
Because we
when
all
you
know
said Tom's
that
car.
when you
Tom's
put something
G-Wagon.
together, it always goes right the first time.
G-Wagon.
Look,
The assumption was made.
anytime you
what
sublet
we
anything,
No,
it's going to
we
go
asked him
wrong.
what
We already know
year's
that.
We did not.
The most successful.
Did we look it right up to 17? We both Googled it.
No. You looked that up after
twice
that.
I had to go down there.
After what? After I typed it in? Yes, I looked it up.
Yeah,
After I typed it in.
I've had other guys.
That's right, to see if I
Installation
would.
errors.
Is this the perfect
Oh my God.
example of two sides to the story?
No, this is a perfect example
No, it
of
was
March.
like
It
it.
is not.
Right.
The truth.
You got to know the shops you're
Oh
working
my
at.
God, we're going to have to go back to the
We
audio. That's
worked
the
with,
only way to do
uh,
this.
I
Power
love the
transmission for years.
Which one?
CT.
I'm trying to think of what it was,
used to work
but
for
you
us.
were. It was lunch. It was lunch at Del Fresco.
We ever had problems with him.
And it was over what? It was 2 years, maybe 2 years ago.
So the final straw with him for
we went
me
and had a
was
hamburger over at the place.
like 12 years ago.
He felt bad.
I took
Oh, I do. He actually bought one. This guy, let me tell you, between these two, I swear to God, 300 lunches.
So, whatever. That was
just like yesterday. I mean,
Tom, were you wrong on the year of your vehicle?
Of course.
Were you wrong? That negated the entire bet. Would you agree, Mr. Martino? That negated the entire bet. Yes. Yes.
It comes back and shit's unplugged or not put back right now.
I told you.
But it's hard. You're working for me, right? So,
Johnny Cochran moment here, man. If it don't fit, you must have quit.
If the year ain't right, hands wrong.
Because we'd have to go get the car and then we'd adjust.
Oh my God!
We'd adjust this out. It was always an installation to the point is, it's like, if you send me the whole car,
that's it.
You gotta do it. It's like, no, and 3 jugs of water that were actually left.
Mark,
that is funny.
So you guys do other repairs, or you just?
Right now, we're just because I get to. I mean, somebody comes in for some spark plug. Hey, you want to leave it for a week or two? I'll be happy to get to it.
Back up a transmission.
Oh, and I read one of your. I read an email that I sent.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
I
saw an email between you and
about a year. Transmission builder. So. With the Odyssey problems we were having, we thought it would be gravy. Because he could do other things, right? Stress and whatnot. But it got to the point where
I saw an email between
the time he would make our transitions was, I mean,
if that ever
smoking.
changes,
He was good.
then
But you put him on a shredder, a great job, it'd take him all day. What's going on with this guy? So what I finally did was I actually sent him over to Amco and said, look, Mike, this guy's a great builder, but I can't afford, I can't afford just to do
yeah, so if that goes that way, you would still have total access to the company.
I know.
Yeah, but they're the ones you need to send in.
Mike's got a great builder. He can do, 3 transmissions a day. He has somebody on one and he tears them down, builds them, and then puts them in.
I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, he's a nice
guy. That's what I'm saying. He's the man.
You got to find the right ones.
We had another one. He really does a lot of this cool shit.
Mark, I remember what it was. The tire tread that was coming apart on that guy's vehicle that you said that's a manufacturing defect, and I said it was a recreate. And my tire expert came back and said that brand of tire is so cheap that they do section tread.
So I sold a lot of Chinese tires.
By lunch. Yeah, he helped me do it.
I sold.
He was right to it, but he won't pay.
I sold out of back in the day. It was called Premier Tire. They had a Chinese line of tires. You could get, for example,
okay, well, I'll call you tomorrow.
like a 285,
Finally got this lady
65,
down so he can go get the car.
Someone would put on an old
different rates.
Dude, I'd be buying these tires for like $40 a piece. The Goodyear, the same size, would be, $280.
Hey, isn't there a good Chinese tire though, or Japanese tire?
There's a great Chinese tractor.
No, seriously.
Yokohama.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. I can go on and tell you how we've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars, and I mean that, honest to goodness.
For consumers over the past 40 years in Denver and 46 years if you count everywhere. So what are we doing? We're solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. If you want to know more about the show, just read about us at referralist.com. I want to talk to Mike. This is puzzling and really disheartening. He had a checking account with Aurora Schools Federal Credit Union, and his housekeeper or someone he knows wrote checks, stole his checks, $45,000. And she's the daughter of his girlfriend, basically, or previous girlfriend. I think I got it right. Now, here's the problem. They think he was in cahoots with this because he gave a power of attorney to his girlfriend, the mom, and then, of course, the daughter's the one that ended up with the checks. So let's dissect this, Mike. Let's dissect this. Why did you give power of attorney to the woman? Now, I'm calling her your girlfriend for lack of a better term. Were you guys...
That's fine.
Okay,
that's lady friend, whatever.
Or ex-girlfriend, whatever. Okay, so what happened? Why'd you give her power of attorney?
Because I was so sick,
Okay,
and frankly, it was just I couldn't function.
Were you dying at the time? I mean, was it that serious?
I actually, the doctors told me that I died twice, and they brought me back. I don't remember that.
What is it, Mike, that you had?
Because liver problems and stuff like that.
Is it possible that she thought you were going to die and didn't think it would matter? Seriously.
I think the daughter thought that. Yes.
Okay. Now, Mike, this woman you're involved with, how long did you know her?
About, at that time, 3 years.
Okay. Did you guys have a very close relationship, like a marriage?
No.
Okay. I missed some. Was it a full-blown power of attorney or just medical?
Full-blown.
No, it was just a temporary to allow her to pay my bills.
That's full. That's a power of attorney. Okay, but it was temporary.
All right.
Yeah. Now, it was during this time. Now, when she had this power of attorney, where was your checkbook?
Well, it was in a dresser drawer.
No, she was paying your bills? So
yeah, she had that, but more checks were stolen that she didn't even have, like in her purse or anything like that.
Okay, the checks were taken from checks were taken out of sequence from the drawer.
Yes, they were written out of sequence.
Or if you're from back east, you'd call it the draw. Okay, so
the draw.
Yeah. So anyway, they were taken out of your drawer, and they were forged. Now, the police will not press charges because they say she was in with you. I think
was the implication.
Now this is going to be really difficult. Now you have a civil case against her. I know you want her prosecuted, and I would too, but you know there is no hope of getting that money because even if she's prosecuted, she doesn't have any money. And if they order restitution,
no, she has no money.
And if they order restitution, I had restitution ordered on a fraud with me, and this guy is paying $10 a month, I think, on a $50,000 fraud.
How do you even know it was a daughter?
Because that's why I want to try and be concise, because I know how you like to be.
All right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to tell me a story then, and stuff we haven't heard.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. My signature on there was Michael is misspelled every time, and in the upper left-hand side of your check, there's your name, but it's misspelled. Sometimes it wasn't even signed. It was made out to her, endorsed by her, cashed in her TCF bank, or deposited, and it went through in even amounts, everywhere from $100 to $900 through Aurora Schools Credit Union. Was never caught, and so my beef is now with Aurora Schools Credit Union.
And I agree, by the way, I'd go after them too. I'd go after them too.
So here's the deal.
They have a fiduciary responsibility.
Well, I have all this documentation. My attorney writing them, of course, they have their counsel writing back saying, I had the...
I understand. Keep going. You've established that.
Yeah, and so...
But how do you know?
Look,
hold on, we still don't know about her. We know that it's the credit union's sloppy practices. What about her?
Did she write your name on something else and misspell it? I mean, you seem to be going somewhere.
Everything was misspelled. Yeah, my signature was misspelled.
You didn't listen.
It was printed.
You didn't answer the question, okay, Mike? We're going to ask you one more time. How did you know it was her?
It was her. You could recognize her signature.
Okay, it was her handwriting.
Plus, I mean, it was low-hanging fruit. I mean, it was made out to her. It was endorsed by her.
Oh, I get it. Mark, we forgot that part. It is made out to her, endorsed by her. I mean, she made it out.
Yeah, and deposited in her TCF.
You should sue her.
It's all right there.
Do you think she still has the money?
No, she has no money.
How do you know she didn't
She's
spend?
28 years old.
Do you think she spent it all?
Oh, yeah.
Where do you spend $45,000?
I don't know. She drove a Lexus for a while.
You know, what this reminds me of, it's nothing to this degree, but at one point you and I handed our credit card to someone to go out and buy some paper, literally some paper for our printer. They came back with it. They kept the credit card.
Liquor.
And for about 6 months straight, every Friday, they bought liquor and cigarettes.
Right.
We found out it was outright theft, and the cop said because we let her use it one time to buy paper.
She had a parent authority.
Well, she wasn't your parent.
She had a parent
Did you guys
obvious authority.
get any of the liquor from that transaction?
No, trust me. And we're not kidding around. The detective, we called the cops, we called everything. They wouldn't do anything.
No, they wouldn't. And any kind of connection at all where they can make any kind of civil argument, they will, because it lightens their workload. People don't understand that. Police do want low-hanging fruit.
Matter. Yeah.
They want a civil matter because then it's on you instead of on them. It's much easier to eat a donut than to go after a civil, or something like that. So here's the deal. And if you think it's a stereotype, you're wrong. I mean, just look at Denver police one time.
No, I agree.
And they love to seize cars, though, from black people. Here's what I think. I think that you have no hope of getting the money. That's just a sad, sad fact of life. And I think...
From her.
Yeah, you may have it from the credit union, but you're going to have to do a lawsuit.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. But
well, don't let them know you're trying to avoid it. Obviously, you do want to avoid it, but maybe you hire an attorney to write some letters. I've
done that.
Who? Okay, you got a strong.
That's my point. And my attorney has written many letters, and
he's going to have to sue them. Then go after the credit union.
They've ignored everything.
File a lawsuit.
I've written emails to the board of directors.
I've been
a member of that credit union for over 40 years.
Suzanne, let's give a call for an official comment about this. We believe that they were lax in their practices. We want to comment. Let's see what they say. And also this.
I think there's a higher standard for a credit union than there is for a bank.
No, hold on.
Owner.
They're both. Don't even say that. It doesn't matter. I think it was very sloppy. Now, here's one thing. I have a bank that if anything's out of place, I get notified. It's weird. I mean, it's sometimes. Okay, I like that. Now, what I'd like you to do, though, I think this woman, you don't like to know, I think your previous girlfriend had something to do with it.
A lot of people say that.
Well, I think she did. I think, first of all, she had to have known. How many checks were written?
Like literally where the checks were.
And how much it was?
Probably 70 checks. Close to that, and
she had to know they were going to be cashed and honored. She had to know that. She had to know where they are.
Who was looking at the statements?
Yeah, I think
nobody.
Well,
I was too sick to do that.
Your girlfriend was paying your bills, right?
Just a few, yeah.
She knew where she had your checkbook, and she knew the register. She knew the balance.
Well, but they were totally out of order. They were the rest of
it doesn't matter. She knew how much money was there. Isn't it funny? They didn't go over, did they?
No.
Now, how much money do you have?
This woman that long.
How much money do you have left in your account?
0.
Now, did they write a check after it got to 0?
Yeah, they tried to, but I had gone in when I discovered all this and went and changed my account.
Why'd you change your account if you had 0 in it?
Because I finally discovered that when checks started bouncing.
What? Okay.
I got online and looked.
They were presenting checks after a 0 balance.
By the time it got to 0 and started bouncing, that's when I'm
asking you, how many checks did they try to put through after 0?
I think 2.
Okay. Hey, here's what I'd like to do. Suzanne has created a new contact over in Arapahoe County. Was it Arapahoe or Aurora policeman? Who'd you deal with?
Aurora.
God, I wish. I just dealt with someone at Aurora on something else on the car that was pretty cool. Let me reach out to them.
Wait. Who did Suzanne? She's with the sheriff's department.
That's Arapahoe County.
Yeah, why couldn't he go through them? Why would he have to go through Aurora out of curiosity?
I don't know. And maybe they take your... I don't know. Listen.
It was in Aurora, and it's Aurora Schools. I don't know. Yeah.
If I were you, I swear to you, I would go after that mom. I would go after both of them.
He's convinced it wasn't her, though. You can tell in his voice.
when you talk to her, how does she? Come on.
When
What is your gut feeling? Hold on. When you first told her, I want to know all of that.
Do you currently get regular structured settlement or annuity payments from an
He can't honestly believe that she didn't have nothing to do with it.
You know, this place is
First of all,
pretty
how
good,
would this
man.
girl even know he had money?
I don't know. Right.
We might go to dinner here tonight. This little Johnny C's.
That don't make sense.
Is that way we have?
Not the Grand Z, the
Where are you going? Where are you going?
KOA up in Central City.
Oh, you're going today?
We go all out, man.
You see where I parked, right? So I parked.
You help me?
Get out there.
Do you going up with the real vacation vehicle?
Yeah.
I
can't wait for my garage to be done, man.
That's killer, bro. That's gonna be fantastic.
It is gonna be fantastic.
It's high deck, everything.
It's taking so long.
Thanks.
Doesn't know that everything takes forever.
God, it's unbelievable.
What? I'm going to call the bank, but what were the sloppy practices?
With some checks out of order.
They were cashing forged checks where, I mean, they weren't even spelling the guy's name.
Here's the bottom line.
It was
Look,
pretty bad.
it was made out to her, endorsed by her, out of sequence checks, all kinds of stuff that was wrong, didn't match his signature in the lease. We'd like to know why. They cashed it.
They're not going to have any cover.
No, but it's good to light a fire.
When you had your checks, the checks compromised, did you ever get that money back? You were with who, Vectra?
Yeah, we got our money back that day.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you one that was even
Not
worse.
that day, but right away.
Which one are you talking about? The stolen checks?
The $50,000 check. You know, the one in, what was worse, Mark? You were saying what was worse? That was pretty bad. Vectra, you know, we don't have a problem with Vectra that they.
We had someone steal checks. They didn't steal checks. They literally got the account number, which anytime you write a check, your payroll checks are connected to something. So they took the account, they took the routing, they made their own checks, and these things look like they printed them at home, made them.
That's the Vectra one.
Yep, and then they went into the bank on 2 different occasions and cashed them. Literally cashed.
Within
No
a half
account,
hour,
nothing.
though. Within a half hour.
Yeah, within
on a Friday.
Yeah. Like one after another.
How much cash?
I remember a lot of fucking cash.
It was a
25,
female,
25, I think, or 15 and something. Yeah.
It was a lot of fucking
It was a
cash.
female, right?
So listen, it gets better though.
I think one guy and one gal.
We got our money back almost. You know, you get a provisional credit, but then we got the full credit, of course. They wouldn't even fucking press charges.
This all happened 2 years ago.
That's what was worse. They wouldn't fucking press charges.
2 fucking years ago.
He's been fighting the bank about it for 18 months. I said, so the checks were cashed 18 months ago? He goes, well, 2 years ago. I've been fighting it for 18 months.
Oh my goodness.
You know, that whole...
That's a lot of cash.
The POA really does throw a wrinkle into there, man.
She was the cleaner of the house.
How long did he say he knew her?
Got in love and started doing a little.
They were together for years.
Yeah.
He didn't really say.
He was getting extra service and benefits, and he felt there's a value for that.
Well, I was going to say, did he get 40 grand worth of head, or what are we talking? We asked him the
She
pertinent
was not only
questions.
cleaning the house,
Head and tail.
cleaning the pole.
She was pole cleaning
She wasn't a house.
and pole dancing.
I thought she was. I thought her.
I mean, the mom wasn't.
I thought the mom was.
I thought the other one was.
I thought the daughter was helping.
I don't
But
know.
I could be wrong.
Helping clean the pole?
Clean the pole.
Hard to keep.
See what I got to deal with? I try to live a righteous way.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
got.
this guy does nothing but fuck me.
Tell me that was one clean pole.
Hey, did he tell you the joke? Tell that joke you told. I tell that to everybody. I don't know if you were here when he told it, though.
The senior joke?
Yeah.
I had nightmares. I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
Every time I
stuck down
it drives him crazy, but when I do the punchline, I
You
go,
screw it up.
It depends.
You screw it up. You gotta drop the
No,
it.
you gotta be right with it.
No, I like it depends. I like it because it drives him crazy when I do it. It's not it!
It depends.
Oh, he hasn't heard it.
He hasn't heard it.
Oh man!
Listen to this. I'm not telling
You're
you.
not telling broad. What's an 8-year-old pussy taste like?
This is sad. Are we on the wrong?
Depends.
He's walking out. He's doing the walkout.
Oh, he's the first one that told us.
Like you said, we're trying to live a righteous life, but boy.
What about that one with Disneyland.
Oh, I'll never forget when Tom told his kids about Disneyland.
What?
He said, listen, I got to drop you off at Wonderland, Michael Jackson's place. It's only for one night, but after that, it's all Disneyland.
Michael Jackson's definition of a perfect 10? 2 5-year-olds?
Oh my God.
That estate's got to be so pissed.
Shannon lives here, doesn't he? What's going to happen? His house is being taken. He has no extra square footage.
Lost half.
You're up.
Lost half the square footage.
Oh my God.
Really?
Hey,
We're coming back, bro.
He's being evicted.
There's going to be no extra space.
Remember, they listen.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. RenewHomeInnovations.com. RenewHomeInnovations.com. Do you know what they do? They're like the Kohler people, we call them. Actually, they use Kohler products. They're proud of that. And what I really love about them is that Serica, that wall material that's a composite, looks like stone and feels like stone. No maintenance, zero maintenance, not even caulking because of a special way they do these corners. Unbelievable. And they do showers. They specialize in showers. Look them up, please. RenewHomeInnovations.com. We have a comment on that Prius. Bill, that Prius call was a while ago. It hadn't run in 2 years. The guy was going to get it in Kansas City, wanted some advice. What's your comment, sir?
You know, I don't know. I didn't hear what year it was, but I know the original ones, the batteries were good for about 5 years, and the new battery was around $5,000.
They were good for longer than 5 years, I believe.
I think the first Prius had those deep cycles.
5 years, and they were $5,000 to replace them. A friend of mine had one.
They're all deep cycle, Mark. All of the ones
they weren't the lithium ion or whatever they are now, though.
Okay, so they didn't last as long. Al, was that true? The original ones, 5 years?
From the first Gen Prius?
Yeah.
Some of them lasted a lot longer than that. They gave the Gen 2, which is the one you saw a lot of, that lasts 10 to 15 years.
Did this guy have a Gen 1 or Gen 2?
2016.
So that would have been longer, Bill. Thank you. Okay, Mike.
I'm here.
To sum it up, you gave power of attorney to your girlfriend. She has a daughter, 28-year-old girl, hiked 45 grand from you. You know, this is sad, but what we did not realize is this was 2 years ago. I think you may have even lost your right to go to court with your credit union. I don't know how many years, but your statute of limitation is running.
It's from what I understand, it's 4 years from the date of discovery, which was April of 2018, April 1st. Basically.
You just discovered it last year in April, and it happened when?
It started in August of 2017.
Yeah, you have a tough time, bro. It's not really discovery. It's when you should have discovered, and man, you're going to have a tough time saying you didn't discover it from August or whatever in the fall till the following year. I'm just looking. I know you were sick and all that. They don't take a lot of that into consideration. But listen, I don't care about that because I don't think you're going to be successful suing anyway. I wish you was. But I wish you were. But I mean, here's the bottom line: you have to start a lawsuit if you're going to do it. Do you have the money to sue? They're not. They're not listening to you, Mike. So you have to file. You have to file a lawsuit. You have to file a lawsuit.
My hope has been that, you know, they've been ignoring me. They were ignoring my attorney, who finally gave up. And I'm just thinking if, you know,
if this was more recent,
Mike, microphone were in their face, then
Mike,
they finally
if this was more recent, we would happily take it on. We were about to call him, and then Suzanne comes in and says, Tom, this happened 2 years ago. It's hard for us to do that. Now, God, what have you been in touch with the mom since this happened?
Yeah, she was totally flabbergasted.
Yeah.
And she's not a good actress. So I believe her that she didn't know.
Okay. How about this? How about would she take a polygraph?
I don't know.
Does the daughter admit to this? I mean, what is she denying it? I mean, there were checks made out to her, for God's sakes. Or is she just saying that you gave it to her? What's the story there? I know the cop said there was apparent cooperation or in cahoots, so to speak.
Right.
But did she deny it at all?
At the beginning, yes.
What's her story now? What is her story now? If you confront her with a check that was deposited in her account, what is her explanation?
I have not confronted her because, frankly...
Did she give an explanation to the cop? Did she say to the cop, Mike let me do it?
No.
So what? So you got her dead to rights. So what's her excuse? Or you don't know?
Well, probably it wasn't her.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I'm sorry, man.
Can say that, but...
This is a problem. The only person who knew about the account was your girlfriend. How would the daughter even know there was an account? How would she know?
Because I had hired her to clean my house a couple of times. So she knew she'd had my checks, a couple of checks.
It's a rabbit hole, man.
For cleaning.
Okay, she had your check, right, because you wrote a check to her. So, Celia, I'm sorry, Mike. I really am. Celia, what's going on? Celia. Hey.
So I'm 18, and I was like, I wanted to move out.
Yes.
So I went ahead and was looking for apartments and stuff.
Okay.
So I found this 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $8.99 a month. So I was like, okay, that's a good deal. So I definitely, went ahead and...
Now, did you do this alone, or were you doing it with a roommate?
With a roommate, yes.
Again, what did you do? You're 18, so whatever you do is legal. Did you sign something?
Yeah.
What did you sign?
Yes. I signed a housing agreement.
Now, you mean a lease?
Which is basically, the lease.
Did you sign it with someone else?
So the thing is, we didn't know that there was going to be... Let me just start from the beginning.
Okay.
So, they were like, okay, just apply here and see if you qualify, blah, blah. So I did that. And I was like, okay, well, it's $8.99. So I was like, I thought it was $8.99 for the whole apartment, But it turns out it's $8.99 for both of us.
Wait. What you're saying is it's $8.99 each?
It's $1,800 a month, not $900.
16.
Yes.
18.
$8.99. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on now.
Yeah. So
you're saying on the lease though that you signed, if you signed it,
said that yeah.
What did it say? You read it. What did it say? Did it say this is for half the apartment or what?
No, it doesn't say. It says that I'm gonna be paying. Well, it says right here because I have to pay a utility amenity fee, which is $25.
I need to see it.
$9.80.
I need to see it, Celia. What is your question anyway? Here's what I want to do. We'll get to look at that, but let's pretend we have that though, and you signed it. What is your question? What's your concern? Do you want to back out now?
Yes, I do, because after all of that, after finding out that it's $900 for each of us, not for the whole thing.
You can't afford it.
No, of course not. So how did I qualify? First of all, they knew that I didn't qualify because
Did you give them any money whatsoever, Celia?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No down payment. There was no down payment.
Now, here's the risk. If you just say to them, write them a letter immediately. You didn't move in, right?
No, I have not.
When were you supposed to take occupancy?
So the thing was...
Just tell me the date. When were you supposed to move in?
September 1st.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's go over this and give you some options, okay? Please hold on.
This is Denver's talk station with Ross
Kaminsky. Sounds like some kind of college housing or some weird shit.
It is if they did it half and half. They never do that with a regular landlord.
That's a young listener. That's a young listener.
But if it's just
somebody said call Tom Martino. You know that, right?
Yeah. We just had.
No. But if it's just.
So is Johnny Come Lately the one paying for the pizza? Yeah. Okay.
What in the world lately? That is like...
No, I should say Johnny Come all the time.
Johnny Quest.
This is what you endorse?
No, he doesn't because he's not late.
Do they offer therapy with this job?
We all go every
Jeff,
Wednesday.
Do you have a mirror?
Why?
I was just wondering. And a brush.
Oh boy, he's on it today.
No, I wanted to know if he had a brush.
No, I don't own a brush.
Oh my God.
Thought so. I thought you said thought so.
So with a face like that, nobody's looking at
you said it was a camera. I don't know.
My hair look funny?
It doesn't It's headphones.
Gotcha. Got it. Mike's on. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. Let me tell you why I call them ideal. They take your circumstances and say, you know what? Here's what would be good for you. You get to, of course, approve it. But maybe a 15-year loan. Maybe a 23-year loan or 25. You know what? You don't have to go back to 30 years. You can get the low payment. You get the lower interest. And you decide. You make your own term. They also have the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down even by as little as 0.75%, and you go, doggone it, they'll refinance you free of charge. So you don't even have to do doggone it. You just say, I want to refi every 2 years if you want. Here's the bottom line. Ideal Home Loans is there to put you in a better position than you were. And if you have a great deal, they'll let you know. You'll never go wrong going to Ideal first. 303-867-7000. It's 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
You know, they're talking about they might drop the next thing a half a point.
I know, stock markets.
Wait.
They are talking about they could Powell.
No, Jeff, I like that wild look.
When did that happen?
I hope we go back into negative, man.
It fits you.
I'm about to do a refi.
I just want it to be so bad that people will realize where Trump is. That's what that one guy said. He hopes we get a recession. Who said that, Mark? He hopes we get a recession just to show.
Bill Maher.
To show that
Bill
Trump.
Maher. Boy, you're not very good on
to show Trump is
just
wrong.
because you drive a Volvo.
2017 Volvo.
Oh,
what's her name?
Don't take shots like
what's
that.
her name that rhymes with a female part?
Volvo?
Volvo.
Dolores would be the easiest one, but it never. When you're watching it the first time, you have no idea either.
It was Dolores though.
You can only imagine what it was like growing up with a name that rhymed with the female anatomy.
No, why?
He goes,
Science now.
This is the first thing that comes out is Mulva.
Oh no, Ripple. Did he say Ripple?
Ripple.
Midi.
It's funny though, because the first time I do remember going, God, what would that be?
When he tells her, you don't know my name, do you?
I know, wouldn't that suck? Oh, you.
I hate that.
He goes,
have you met people, I've done this, have you met people that actually say that to you? You don't remember my name, do you?
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I hate when that's rude. I say, hey, how you doing?
It's
hi,
not
Tom.
as rude as you
don't
forget
remember
the
my
name.
name.
Why did you say that to somebody?
I said,
Yeah, it's like,
I would.
I would.
You would.
I've been called Mike, so I'll go.
Well, no. If they have my name wrong, I may say, oh, it's Tom. And I don't make a big deal about it. But I don't like when people say, hey, how are you doing? And they say, you don't remember my name, do you?
Suzanne's gotten a lot better, but people would call her Susan sometimes, and she'd overlook it. Now she doesn't. But it would drive her crazy.
You honestly would tell somebody you don't remember my name? You just met her.
Yeah.
Call me by a different name. Let's pretend. Hey, Al, it's been great.
Oh, hey!
Okay, Mark with a K.
What's my fucking name?
Mark with a K.
I'm not sure.
You bastard.
You son of a bitch.
You're not in school anymore, right? You're not in school anymore, right? Because you got no class.
Who? 10 away Lazara. 10 away from a spot. Now 8. 5. Mike's going on. Joe Lazara. He is the guy you call when you're in trouble, and really, I hope you never are. Put the name away, okay? You're going to have maybe a time when you can refer it to a friend, a neighbor, your nephew. your son, your brother-in-law, or maybe not your brother-in-law, let him go to jail. Here's the deal. If you have someone that truly needs help, I'm serious now, Joe Lazzara is a great criminal defense attorney. He really is, and he will tenaciously fight for you. If you, let's say you did something stupid and you drank and you drove, even if you want to plead guilty, you know, you have to get through the system and do it accurately. There are 2 hearings, a civil and a criminal. Also, what about shoplifting, assault, neighbor problems, whatever it is? He's not going to judge you. He'll represent you. Okay? Joseph Lazzara. When life is not perfect. 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Lazzara has 2 Z's and 1 R. LazzaraLegal.com.
Talk station.
See, brother, I'll let him go to jail.
All right, let's talk to this young lady who signed a lease. She's 18. This is, I feel badly for her. I mean, let's face it. She signed a lease, and now she thought it was so much for the apartment, $900. It turns out to be $900 each because she signed with a person, and it sounds like student housing. Because I don't know of any other leases that actually do that.
By the individual.
Yeah. Most of the time it's the space, and both of you are responsible for all of it. But it sounds like student housing, you know, and it's because Mark brought out, what did she say, housing agreement? Hey, Celia, is this student housing? Yes. I'm not asking if you're a student, but is it student housing?
No, yes, this is student housing.
All right. Now, where is this student housing?
It's University House, Denver.
Okay.
I would assume they can probably resell this, and then it would be
no harm, no
foul.
I was going to say, if you go to them, straight up and say, "I made a mistake," what would they say?
No, we did.
And what did they say? What did they say?
Well, before all of that, they also asked for a cosigner and all this other stuff.
Right.
So we were like, yeah, definitely we don't.
So then what?
Did your parents co-sign? Did anybody co-sign?
No, nobody.
Okay,
no.
so
for my roommate they did, but not for me.
Who co-signed for your roommate?
Her stepmom.
Okay, how do these agreements work if one of you defaulted? Like if they're writing a separate contract.
I think they come after all.
Well, we don't know that.
I don't know, but I bet they do.
It's 2 separate leases. It's 2 separate leases. She has her own lease.
I understand that, but what does it say about you and your lease about the other half? Does it say you get rights to 1 bedroom? What does it say?
No, it says that I'm going to be, it doesn't say anything about a single bedroom. It says 2 bed, 2 bath, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why when I read it, I was like, okay, yeah.
Do me a favor. Perfect. You know what, Mark? This is the 2nd time this week I think we've heard about this. The same.
It's that time of year, man.
But it is confusing, and I'm saying it might be confusing enough to get her out of it.
And maybe we can make a call over there.
I need you to send it to us. So when you did they say they're going to go after you for the money?
I am confused on something though. She said she didn't realize it was $8.99 a person, but then she just said there was 2 separate leases at $8.99.
That was after. Yeah, that was after.
After what?
Like we had signed. We were like, wait, why is there like 2 leases? Why, you know?
Listen, I know where you can get confused, but here's what I want to know. If you have a copy, you need to send it to us. But I want to know, what did they say they would do when you said we can't do it? Did the other person move in? Did your roommate move in?
No, not yet.
Wait. Is she going to? Does she want out too, or just you?
I don't know what she's going to do yet because she does have a cosigner, so maybe it'll go bad for her cosigner as well. So
here's the worst they can do for you is take you to court. And Celia, as crazy as this sounds, they don't have anything you can take, do they?
No.
Do you have money in the bank?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, guess how much do you have in the bank?
Yeah.
How much do you have in the bank, Celia? It's important we know.
Like 400.
Okay, that's not that much because they can come after that if you don't take it out right now and leave about $50 in there. They can come after it. I would not put too much money in there. Yeah. They can get a garnishment against you. Did they say, hey, Celia, if you pay this much, we'll let you out? Did they say anything like that?
No.
Let's call over there for this poor girl.
Where do you work?
I work at Applebee's.
Do you work full-time?
No, part-time.
Are you going to school?
Maybe pick up a few more hours.
I am.
Yeah, she's still, man, 900 is going to be tough for her alone to come up with. $900.
Yeah, but so when we went to go talk to them, they said either I have to find somebody to essentially, I guess, sublease. I'll still be my name's still going to be on the lease.
I know what they're saying. They're saying you have to have somebody to go in there and make the payments, and then you're going to be responsible if they
selling a timeshare.
Yeah, I'm still going to, either way, I'm still going to be responsible. Or they said either, collections. And we even said that we're willing to pay, what is it, damage, whatever.
Yeah, damages. Are there damages in the contract?
No, just me trying to get out of it.
Okay, hold on a second, all right? Mark, would you call for her? If we let's get a copy of that, Celia. We'll give it.
That's the first thing I need to say.
We'll give it a try for you, Celia. Hold on, all right? This is sad. Okay, we got plenty of time. 303-713-TALK. Don't forget it's car day. Rick's got a car question. Go ahead, Rick.
Tom, I just wanted to thank you and your crew.
Can you go to the original problem, and then we'll tell you let's tell people what happened. What happened originally you called about?
Okay, my 2018 Chevy Cargo Express van.
Yeah.
I'd go 33 miles an hour, and the brakes would apply, and it pulled to the right slightly.
And you didn't know why. They were just coming on by themselves. People said it's probably collision avoidance. Other people said it was what?
I don't remember, but he brought it to different places, and they all thought he was crazy.
Jesse, what were you laughing at? Have you heard of it? Hold on a sec, Jess.
No, I was just listening to it.
Have you ever heard of that, though, where all of a sudden it was coming on? It was only when he was doing 33 or less it would come on. Isn't that weird? And what happened? You went to Purify. Guys, you want to take any guesses what it was? I'm going to say bad sensor. What were you going to say?
Anti-lock brake system, connection control unit.
Oh, could be anything.
I'm going to say body control unit.
I'm going to say loose nut behind the wheel.
Loose nut behind the wheel or a fake leg that applied.
A fake what?
Leg.
They're great mechanics up there named James.
What did he find?
He reprogrammed the brake module.
But what was it telling it to come on?
I don't know. He didn't sell.
I wonder if it was like an update.
That's proprietary.
Yeah.
Did he have to flash?
Three major car dealers. They all said there's nothing wrong with it. Chevrolet. If you want me to name them, I will.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's Medved Chevrolet, Century Chevrolet, and Emick Chevrolet. All three. Emick even told me they checked the brakes and there's nothing wrong with it.
And
they all said it's just the transmission slowing
And you went
down.
to Purify, and how long did it take him to fix it?
2 hours, 3 hours.
And it's done.
It's done, and I think it's fixed.
Right. I got a question. Did this thing happen all the time?
It happened ever since I bought it.
No, but I'm saying I know it happened, but I'm asking
like
you,
how many times
was it
a week?
an intermittent
Every
problem?
time you took your foot off the gas or slowed down, did it happen?
Oh, not every time, just sometimes.
So you got to give them, if they can't duplicate the problem.
And it
well,
was
how did Purify do it?
Speed, too.
How did Purify do it? Did he take it for a test drive?
What Purify did is connect the computer, look at all the update modules and all the stuff he probably looked at and said, oh, look, I got a module update right here. Let's tickle that module and let's do it. Right, guys? How many times do we find updates take care of so many problems in vehicles?
Is this a new vehicle, Rick?
Yeah, it's only got 7,500 miles on it.
Yeah. It's crazy, the updates of what they do, Tom. It's
we got more coming right up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
There's quite a few of the usual... She was the one with the Secretary of State. Yeah, she just emailed me. I just said, hey, we want to have you back up.
Well, she wants us to help her, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell her. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to tell her.
What status did
she made her own? She made her own nightmare.
But did we leave it that we were working on it? How did we leave it?
She was going to sue him.
But were we helping her at all? Because
yes, I was emailing her all the paperwork, and I was looking up the Secretary of State is how this shit came out. And I'm going, okay, so now she's going to sue her fucking self.
Mark, in the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to update it whether she does or not. We're updating.
She was so I do all this work to help her, or at least show her how to do something.
Update.
How did you just look at the Secretary of State and see the names?
Yeah.
What is it? Accuracy, or what is it called?
It is hold on, it's right here. This whole thing has been blah, blah, blah.
What was she for?
It's not you.
You can't. You couldn't believe this if I fucking told you.
No, we're not gonna repeat. We're not gonna do it first. I want it to be fresh. We're gonna.
These things are exactly like the one that we looked
Accuracy
at.
Auto.
They were both the exact same thing.
Oh, that was the one that didn't pass emissions or something. They broke the head.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it coming up.
Oh. The only thing I want before I do anything for that 18-year-old, I gotta see.
I didn't even hear that call. So
we just need the agreement emailed over to us.
Are we going on the spot here? Because I have to.
Guys.
Join at lifelock.com. Use promo code RISK to get 10% off your first year.
We want to introduce you to Fix It 24/7. So for $39, a new customer special, get your furnace ready for winter. Yeah, it's not cold right now, but it's going to be. And you know, everybody rushes to service when it gets cold. If you do it beforehand, not only do you get the best service, but you'll get a no breakdown guarantee. They'll go through the entire furnace. You will never have anyone that has gone through it more. They will go through each and every part, even take it apart to the extent they can, and clean each and every part. They laid out parts on our lawn. They degreased, they fixed, they adjusted, they tightened, they checked. It was wonderful. It's worth way more than $39. That's just an introduction to how they do things. And you can do it right now. FixMyHome.com to read about this phenomenal company for plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. 720-526-3939. Do it now before the rush. Just $39. 720-526-3939.
Okay, Mark, remember the one I was telling you about? What do you do if you co-sign on a lease for your kid and their spouse or whatever, and then the lease is up, and it goes month to month after the lease is up, they won't leave, and they won't pay their rent.
You go kick the living shit out of your kids.
Is this the original lease?
Yes, he's so afraid he's going to stir up shit with his kids.
Well,
I think we should try to help
just bring
him
it up and talk about it, so at least we give relevance to it.
1 o'clock hour, please.
Oh, in the 1 o'clock. Okay.
Why would he? So then he should just say, okay, I'll keep on paying. He doesn't want to stir up crap, but he wants us to do what?
No.
He's looking for some advice, but he doesn't want to come on the air. It sounds like his kid listens.
Because his kid
He sounds to me like he got to get a handle on his kid.
He's just afraid. Hold on.
Wait, it's his daughter and they don't always pay their rent, and he doesn't want to affect his credit, so he pays it. It's month to month.
But so far, they are paying, right?
No, he's paid some of the months. Just to keep it from dinging his credit. But the kids won't leave. They won't give their notice, and the apartment's telling him, your kids have to give the notice for you to get out of this lease.
This situation is dangerous.
Never co-sign is the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Don't co-sign for anything.
That's when you go slap your kid around. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to stir up shit with my kid. Well, just stop being afraid of your kid. Why do you think your kid's acting like this now?
I hired my son last week to put him in the bay, so he's working out back now. I can keep him in line.
How old is he?
21. He worked for me when he was 16, being a porter, you know, grunt work.
Is he a good kid?
Oh yeah, wanted to wrench, and I told him that's great, but we can't educate you here. I don't have the manpower. So he left, went to Chevy, did what, 5
Go
years
work
there?
for Al,
6
learn,
years.
come back.
Yep. Got his education, came back, said, okay, I got my education, I'm ready, Dad. It's all right. Pick up a wrench, let's go. Bring your tools over.
You have a 21-year-old kid?
I do.
That's hard to believe.
You look like you're 28.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What's he trying to sucker me out of, right?
I could have a kid right now, because I got married at 20. I could have a kid 46.
I had my son at 21, and he's 21 now. So,
I can have
21 years ago.
Yep, you got it.
Pretty cool, man.
I'll be 43 this year.
My 23-year-old.
So how old are you?
43.
I could have a son your age for sure. I could.
You might.
I love this though.
I know. You don't take it.
49.
I think
It'll be 50 in December.
Yeah.
And if you ever listen to the guy, he's so
well, he's part of
can't fix if you don't.
Group that I belong on,
Better?
I belong to is
Perfect.
doing one of those deals.
There's one out of place, right?
Well, see, that's why I do my hair like, because I just get out of the shower in the morning, I just do this, and then I can never be out of place.
No, I hate, that's why I go get short.
I used to love my hair short. I started getting bald right here, so now it's long enough I can cover it up.
I only get my hair cut about 3 or 4 times a year.
No.
My hair grows that slow.
I gotta get a haircut like everybody.
Well, see, if I go completely bald, though, see, I've got trouble because I got this big dent in my head from where I broke my head. So if it rains, I'm gonna have a bird bath up there.
I got a big bald spot right here in the middle. So the only thing I can do is.
Well, see, I got a bald spot, but I can't go completely bald.
Seriously bald. You wouldn't look bad bald.
No, I never have. I had my hair short for years, and then when it started really like getting bald, like you could tell that it was bald, I thought, man, I'll just grow it out.
I was thinking if I went bald, I'd go bald.
I read this. He's just got to give a written notice, man.
Okay, Mark, they're telling him that the daughter and the husband need to give the written notice for him to get out.
Because they're the occupants.
But why? He's the co-signer. He should.
Yeah, but it's a 1-year agreement that
they just want that.
I think we just call that apartment.
There you go.
In the 30-day period, he can say, "I am terminating my."
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's going to terminate his part.
You can do that.
So
it doesn't say he can't do it.
I'm Tom Martino. Thanks for calling, people. 303-713-TALK.
Remember this. We will help you on and off the air, okay? Now, I
got a car question for these guys that came in.
Yes, and we have ourselves going through the next hour as well, and then 1 o'clock. Sean said we rudely hung up on him. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
This is the guy with the wrong engine or wrong oil in his Cadillac engine.
First of all, it was a joke. We gave him the bomb. And the reason we did is because we all agreed, not just me, but the professional mechanics, that there is no way that you would ever attribute any damage to them using the wrong viscosity. Okay, Sean, just listen to that part. And blow-by is not unusual for that engine to begin with, even if you had a non-perfect leak-down test. By the way, there are no perfect leak-down tests. They're just minor. And even if it was more than normal, you could never attribute it to 40,000 miles using that oil, so you couldn't get an expert to agree with you. So, Sean, that's why we hung up, because you kept singing the same song. That's all. Nothing personal. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yes.
I have two of them. If you're saying what is true, why did they put a warning sign in the owner's manual that says putting the wrong viscosity oil can cause engine damage? Second question
because if it was really wrong and really different, it could.
So it's really wrong and really different.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Absolutely. That's what they put that there.
That's right. Now, listen to Al Ramos. How many years experience do you have now?
I'm going on almost 40.
Okay, and he's saying that there are really wrong viscosities and oils that you could put in there.
Yeah. You can go out to the farm and go get some 30 weight. You can even get hydraulic oil and put it in that car. It won't work really well.
Sure.
So they put a warning because it's almost like coffee is hot and it can burn you.
But, Sean, the change that they did is not going to cause it.
Yeah. Sean, we're not trying to pick on you. You called the show because you want to see if you can get some information.
You're right.
Listen real quick. Listen real quick.
I live close.
You got a minute?
Close to Acura, Honest, whatever.
Honest Accurate Auto?
Thank you. Yeah, and I was actually considering bringing it there to have them maybe do a compression check on it and a leak down test.
But Sean, what we keep saying, but you're not listening to this. Even if the compression and leak down show abnormalities, you cannot trace it to a 40,000 mile period of using one-off viscosity. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter what your test shows.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Now, since they perform their oil service improperly, though, shouldn't I be entitled to get my money back from that?
No, because you had oil and it serviced you. It worked. You drove. I mean,
oil in it?
Your car was not grounded, so to speak. You were not you were not deprived of the service of the car, Sean. Seriously. I don't understand this. Are you that unhappy?
That was my question.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you.
Listen,
have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you, man. Thank you. Look, I don't know if sometimes people have this personality that they want to find something wrong, or maybe he's just curious. Maybe he truly is concerned because, look, I can't afford a new engine. You know,
but you told him it in 8 different ways.
Yeah. On an 82,000-mile vehicle that has given a lot of service and has performed the way it needs to. cars wear.
Plus,
if we go look at this thing, we will find a little bit of leak down. We'll find lower compression.
On any of
on
them.
any of them.
A lot of shops have their main bulk oil, guys.
Yes, they do.
And that's what they use for their oil changes, unless if it calls for something else.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone's listening, you want to disagree, that's fine, too. Call up if you want to be wrong. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Yes.
Real quick, guys, what do you think? This guy's, it's a 2011 GMC Acadia. The dealership, he doesn't say which one, wants $175 to diagnose one of the heated seats not working, and another $175 to look at why the wiper isn't pumping washer fluid. So they want $350, it looks like, to diagnose.
Will they apply that toward any of the repairs? Do you know, Mark?
He says that's just a diagnosis.
That's pretty strong.
That's heavy,
That's
heavy,
real
heavy.
strong.
That's
And here's
real-
the thing,
that-
when you do
that's
those
too much.
Arcadias, we've done a ton of them with the heated seats, they have a problem. They also have a problem with the seatbelt and the deployment.
But
what is it generally?
This is a bigger question, though, and we'll examine this, and you can continue that out.
Absolutely.
The bigger question, is it wrong to charge for estimates ever? And how do you do it? And when is it appropriate?
And
We'll
how
talk about
much?
that and more coming up. The Raleigh House is in...
But they're charging per symptom?
That's what he says. The GMC dealership wants $175 as a diagnostic fee to look at the heated seat.
Well, that's it right there.
And another
Which means it's not going to
$175
get
to
applied
look
to
at
the
the
repair. I'll tell you
wiper.
that now.
Yeah,
that
you're going to
isn't
pay
pumping
that.
washer fluid.
So
The wiper thing would be,
the first thing you do
that's
is you go
like
someplace
10
other than the
minutes
dealership.
Yeah, that's
Tell
the
them we'll do it for half the cost.
Hell, actually, replacing the washer pump on that would be cheaper than the
Yes.
damn diagnosis.
Are you going to do Art of Granite as a tape?
Is there
Okay, so
anything
we
weird
just
on
have
2011?
Yeah, maybe the switch is bad on the combination switch and it's not working there.
Oh, that's true.
It's an 11. It's probably got over 100,000 miles on that thing. It could be worn
Well,
out.
I have no
you
problem
know
with
it's got 80,000, and
And
at that
I'm-
point, that engine might be worn out if you
And
took
I'm
the wrong
not
oil.
sure if an Arcadia would weigh close to what a Mercedes would.
What year is it?
I'm not sure of the year. And my kids were
And
not.
this is a 2011. Here's how Dan would handle it.
Hey, so this guy, because Mark was telling jokes, said, "Hey Mark, what's the position, sexual position that gives you the ugliest baby?"
What?
The sexual
They talked about
position
that? They
Yeah.
talked about
that
that?
give you the ugliest baby. Anybody? I don't know.
Go ask your mother.
So that one coming a mile away.
That's fucking good.
That's pretty good. That's
comedy.
good.
That's comedy.
That's
I'll use that one.
No, you cannot. It's
That wasn't on site.
That's mine.
No, it was on, somebody wrote it in.
How can we have Jeff
YouTube.
tell his joke
That was a good one, Steven.
on air?
We can't.
one?
Jeff
It
won't.
depends.
No, I will not.
There must be a way he can tell it online.
Jeff doesn't want a worse reputation than he already has.
I've worked really hard to keep that low level. If I have to step up my game, I'm getting paid.
Oh, God.
That is a good one.
It works because you're an only child.
Yeah.
And now you know why.
Ask your mother.
That is a good one. I got to remember that.
I know, it is a good one.
My problem is I don't remember some of this
You
shit.
know what? I gotta write it down.
What's the punchline? Because it's my mother?
No.
Ask or ask. Go ask. Oh, you were messing up the punchline, and that was the joke.
It's the wrong year.
Wow. My kid's in it?
That's just like I said, you used to drive a Volvo.
Oh, that was something else. You can't win with that argument, though. There was no winning that argument.
With what?
With the bet between them and the
About
car
the weight
and the
of the
Mercedes
vehicle?
and the weight of the vehicle.
The year has nothing to do with it. They didn't alter by 50
Then
or 100
what do you
pounds.
say after that? Because
They went
in
to carbon.
They went to carbon fiber.
The bet is reneged because we didn't have the right year of vehicle.
This guy, though, I'll bet you this guy with the other car here, that the Cadillac or whatever the oil
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
he's never going, he still thinks he has a problem. I guarantee you.
400%.
He's not going to give it
Here's
up.
the issue. That one has that 2.0 turbo.
It was only 40,000 miles.
The car's got 80,000 on it, so it had 40,000 when he picked it up. he hasn't had any problems in the 40,000. I don't understand what he's complaining about.
I've seen people like that. We've done that problem where we do the drop down and it automatically populates the weight, and we've had people just blow us up. And our guys, when they get
what do you mean automatically populates?
So when you put in an oil change, it defaults and drops in the filter, everything like that. And if the parts didn't catch up with the right grade, that's happened. Our lube guys, when they get them in, they look it up. They know what they know the amount. They put it in the gun. They know the weight. And so that didn't get communicated to parts. Man, we've had new ones ripped us, and we've had a couple cases where
if the invoice doesn't match the sticker or something, they call in and complain.
Yes, the guy writes the wrong thing. It's like, what do you do? And man, they are just hell bent that you put the wrong oil in my car, and now I have engine damage, and I need a guarantee for the next year of my motor. I've heard that. I'm like, on an oil change? On an oil change?
Or bring it back in, dump the oil, and put the right stuff in.
Yeah. So, and I'm thinking about when that guy was talking about the dealership and the charges, sometimes the service advisor that talks to the guy is possibly, he calls him, hey, I got a problem with the wiper blade. I'm going to say, whoa, and diagnosis is $175. Maybe he calls him back later. You don't know the conversation.
Right.
Typically, they're not going to do $350 on something.
Oh, good. Now we got Clark here that agrees with our Cadillac guy.
Oh, fuck. And what is he?
And they're not going to
Clark, you must be some sort of Superman. So.
Oh, good. You know what? Just come all over him. So to speak.
Now we know what website he's visiting.
Another guy that went on Google and said using wrong oil. Yeah, right here on Google it says.
It says 100%. It's got to be dead serious.
Mark.
Yes.
Look at line 4.
Let's see. I usually don't even know the call.
I tell you what, that lease thing with that was exactly like the other one previously. It was the same. It was both $8.99.
You're right.
Yeah, and it's like a all inclusive. It's per person.
Dan, was the other one confused?
What do you mean was confused?
Did she think she was paying just half?
Yes.
The same?
Exact same.
I'm trying to,
we looked through it. We looked through it, and it said in there, it says you weren't entitled.
Oh, you're right. She was confused.
And that was a boyfriend girlfriend.
No, but she knew she was paying more. Then she thought it was less.
No, they thought they were going to stay in one room together.
Say two different oils.
1030 was my old bulk oil. I put Kendall 1030 semi-synthetic in virtually every car unless they called for something else. So this guy now on 4 is going to argue how we're all fucking wrong. I don't know what else to say. Can you imagine having bulk oil of every fucking thing made? You'd never do it. Can you imagine designing a normal car that
here's the question, though, we better clarify.
Regular oil depending on where you live?
We're not advocating the wrong viscosity. What we're saying is there are viscosities that won't do any harm for a short period of time, period. It's not going to do any harm.
Why are you advocating for putting the wrong oil in?
Well, here.
It just ignores
If you got a
me
second, Tom, come here and take a look at this right here in plain English.
What's his
What got me really nervous was
use
the other
only
day.
licensed dextrose 1 specification equivalent
He
with
must have caught a
SA
certain look
viscosity
I
grade
did that
AC
he
delta
busted
1
me.
synthetic
So I
blend is
got to figure
recommended.
out
Do you
how to
not
hide
use other
the look.
viscosity oils such as 10, 30, 40, 50 in areas of the cold?
He gets that look though with a lot of the shit he's starting to pull, like in here, like
with the temperature. That's a nice fake statement right
so and so.
No, temperature falls below negative 20 degrees
left and
Celsius.
right. Oh, I didn't know they did that.
Drop down to
and then he
0.30.
saw something.
That's right.
Right there, it's telling him to drop down. And that's from the manufacturer.
It's from the manufacturer. He can go as low as a 0.30 on this fucking car.
From Cadillac.
From the manufacturer.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. Come around.
Yeah.
You can see it yourself.
Sorry, sir.
So jump on this guy when it calls.
Oh man, look at this. I want to show this to you, man.
On that particular, okay, good.
I want to show.
Good.
Look at your email right now. I'm happy camper. I mean, we've got a few little things to change, but look at it.
Okay.
Look at the new front page. Now pull up this.
I didn't even know they changed. Oh, they changed according to us, right?
Well, no, kind of both. I wanted something
You guys
way
ever
more professional.
do Mike
I
Roll?
don't
You know
how
Mike Roll?
Yeah.
Look at this as a pledge here. You got
we got to go through the verb.
Yeah, I want to copy
that.
Oh, I've seen that before.
And I can go through the verb.
Yeah,
I will do
all your every kid.
Is this website or app?
This is a website.
I love this.
Oh!
Fantastic.
Well, then I'll just go to the website.
I love
Is
the
it up?
second one.
I don't know if he's
Life,
actually...
liberty, pursuit of happiness. Nothing more. I
Oh,
also
we're on.
understand that happiness and the pursuit of happiness are not the same thing.
Thank you for being here. I'm Tom Martino. We want to solve problems. We want to answer questions. We want to take complaints. And we want to make all kinds of help available on and off the air. If you're tuning in for the first time, please tell a friend about it, because what we try to do is avoid problems by you hearing what people have gone through. We sometimes may not agree that you have a problem. And we may think you're off base, but we'll tell you, rather than wasting your time, many times it saves you time and money from fighting useless battles. But sometimes people I've disagreed with have gone on and won. And so you never know, right? We're not infallible here, but we try to help. Been doing it for 40 years. Let's go to the phones. Today is Car Day. We emphasize cars. We don't just concentrate on cars alone, but we emphasize them. And we have Al Ramos from Pro Auto Care, Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission, and Jesse Schillinger from Honest Accurate Auto. I'm tongue-tied today. Okay, so here's the deal. We were talking about oil viscosity. I just want to get this out of the way. I want to make this very clear. A guy called and said he bought a used Cadillac with 40,000 miles. What he said was, during the time he had it, he had about 6 oil changes, and they were putting in a different viscosity than the one recommended. Now, there's always one recommended by the manufacturer, and then there are others they can tolerate, just like with fuel. But, for example, they said he should have been using 530 in that. That's a viscosity. So instead they were using 020. Then they corrected it. So he went 40,000 miles. And he said, and almost insisted, that he probably has engine damage because of it. Not one mechanic, not just these here, but others I've checked with, not one agrees with that. Not one says there would be absolutely no damage. Now, there's normal wear, no matter what. Normal blow-by, normal everything. But nothing that can be attributed to this short period of time using that different viscosity. Clark, you disagree with that. Clark?
Well, if you got me now, it's not necessarily the viscosity question that I'm disagreeing with. I think it can go both ways, and I think there's a little bit of truth on both your sides, but I would throw that to the side because diagnostically, we've all failed here. The guy has never looked at and nobody's mentioned, the crankcase ventilation setup on the and whether or not that's working properly. That could give him some of the symptoms that he's seeing and had nothing to do with the oil.
I get you. So you're saying maybe we are overlooking something completely in that...
Yeah, you guys are getting bogged down on the conversation.
Tell
on
me,
the oil
what would be the... He said he had some symptoms. What were the symptoms that told you it might be ventilation?
Yeah, a couple hours ago, I heard him say something about something coming out of the dipstick, pressure coming out of the dipstick, vapor coming out of the dipstick.
Right.
All right. Step number one, you got to check to make sure the crankcase ventilation setup, however it is on that car, is working properly. So after that checks out, then you move on to crazy discussions about whether or not the oil screwed something up. But before you've ruled that in or out, don't talk about the oil.
Okay, but his entire question, the whole reason he called, had nothing to do with why am I getting this issue.
He
I understand. That's why I say we all failed.
Mark, he did kind of think the reason he did think he had a problem was because of those symptoms. That's why he said he checked.
Yeah, but his question was, should I go back and get all my money for the oil changes? Right. Should I sue them? What should I do?
Right, and it did seem unreasonable.
And he sidetracked you guys.
So, guys, let's talk about, thank you, Clark, let's talk about crankcase ventilation. First of all, what are some of the ways it could get screwed up or clogged?
Oh, just contamination inside the PCV.
Okay, is it important to keep it clear?
Most 100%.
Can you blow a gasket?
Yes, and actually they've had, I mean, I've actually seen other vehicles where you get such a ventilation problem, it'll actually suck in air from outside through the rear main.
Is it often overlooked?
Yes.
Often.
Okay.
Often.
Clark, thank you very much. Mike's got an oil comment. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm thinking because there are two numbers in oil ratings, that the only problem would come from using a higher viscosity number, a thicker oil, as opposed to a lower.
Well, I want to make this clear too for people listening. We're not advocating that you use wrong oil, especially if it's way off. We're just saying that minor changes here and there won't make a big difference. But more importantly, let's go specifically to that car. We looked it up. Jeff looked it up. Jeff, what did you find?
Well, basically, I mean, yes, the 5W30, which is a Dexos 1,
is the preferred.
Is the preferred, but you can move it around. They say, don't move out of the Dexos brand. They have different detergents that want inside there. But you can go as low as a 030 on it, that they actually recommend in colder weather.
Yeah, a lot of the velocity is due to the weather,
well,
right?
I mean, the 1030 actually has to do with the pour rating at different temperatures.
Yeah, let's describe this. Viscosity means that it takes on different properties depending on the weather. So in hot weather, it acts as if it's a 30 weight, a 530. It acts as if it's a 30 weight, and in cold weather, it acts as if it's a 5 weight.
Yeah, you want that to be able to lube as efficiently as possible.
And it changes by temperature. And so that's why people say, well, how the hell is this? Because in the old days, they would change from a straight weight oil in the summer to a lighter weight oil in the winter. That's what farmers did.
Why not just use a 050 on everything then?
That's not a bad question. You know what? Think about that. Why not? I mean, if you, I don't know. Because you don't want...
So much of what oiling really now affects...
It has to do with the engine, I imagine.
The engine, the variable cam timing, the phasers, the adjusters, so much of what you do now. And the lubrication is so important. Oil pressures have increased in all the cars now. Most cars use higher oil pressures.
But what he said was, why not use one that can go as low and as high as you ever need?
Because what they say is the optimum range for it to operate.
Okay.
When you start adding like what he's talking about... They say that, I've heard this said.
Zero might be too little.
Exactly. So you want to try to find the best based off the environment you've got. Here's
for that
the problem.
Engine.
Denver, anywhere, or even Colorado, is severe driving. It is the worst place almost to
So
drive
for
a car.
heavier duty, is it wise to say for heavier duty, your lower end number should never be zero because you want some real good viscosity.
Exactly.
At
What's interesting, some of the
weather.
manufacturers, the guy kept making reference to the owner's manual. Some manufacturers, like Toyota, Honda, some others, they'll actually give you a map of temperatures, and they show you the different weights of when they should be used. Move these towards the higher, to the left. I think you guys have seen that, but a lot of them have moved away from that because it confuses people.
Think about the complicated science involved in viscosity. You actually have a fluid that you control by temperature exactly the opposite of what it normally wants to do. Because oil normally wants to get thicker, and yet a melty visc won't get will stay where it needs to be. It's amazing.
And I think when it comes back to that customer, I think John or Sean, whatever his name was with that Cadillac, go get it looked at. Get somebody that's competent to look at that motor and see if he's got
look at it, but here's the problem. He should get it looked at, but when he does, don't say everything wrong with it is attributed to that short period of time.
Well, and particularly since he has no baseline of what that thing was actually operating like or any problems that were going on inside it at that 40,000 mile mark when he bought the car to begin with.
Tony, welcome to the show. Tony, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. I actually have a question for your staff there.
Yeah.
What do you think about buying vehicles with branded titles from dealerships that specialize in branded titles?
Are we talking about branded as in salvaged?
Correct.
All right.
Theft recovery,
All right.
hail, flood.
Hold on, Tony. That's a very good topic, really. Just hang on so we can give it some more time.
Weekdays.
Branded titles.
Well, fuck. I mean, this is not for an auto professional. You guys know about. I mean, it is, but I mean, first of all, it depends on how the car is to begin with.
We'll come down that. Yeah,
and it depends on your future.
Yeah.
If you want to keep that car, there's fucking nothing wrong with it. No, I mean, if everything else is done right. The problem with branded titles is, was it rebuilt right? Because a lot of people don't understand, man. or even with a non-VIN number. When they go to the state police and get a VIN, they take it as some kind of approval, and there's no approval.
And there's always underlying problems.
What do the state
for VIN verification?
Well, yeah, when they issue a new VIN,
they're not looking over the car.
They don't give a shit.
Or personally attack them.
Technically, every time a salvage vehicle is sold, so I sell you this salvage vehicle, I have to give you a disclaimer that tells exactly what the damage was and how it was repaired. If you were to sell it, you must also pass that on to the next consumer.
Oh, not at one time.
It doesn't stop at the first purchase.
But anything you did in the meantime doesn't have to be noted on.
Nope.
Just has to be what he passed to you and you passed to the next guy. Yeah, we've done a couple of those branded titles and they've all turned out pretty bad.
You know, and you find bad ones and you find ones that...
That is correct. I was going to say, now I have one guy that bought two and we haven't had any problem with him.
I've seen vehicles that were totaled because of hail.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Or just
nothing mechanically wrong with the car.
Deployed airbags, multiple deployed airbags with
especially
a full bumper out of the car.
TMS, right? Coming up? TMS long, okay. Not yet, guys. I'll let you know.
That's for what happened here.
God, that pizza's taking a long time.
You guys ordered the short pizza, man.
No, we ordered the glacial delivery service.
The what?
The delivery company is called Glacial Delivery.
For real?
Yeah, they move delivery.
Do you guys ever use Uber Eats?
I've never used it.
But my kids always use it.
When I went out one night and said, my kid, you can order out, he fucking used Uber Eats. It cost him like $25 for a hamburger. But most of it was delivery.
Yeah, of course it is.
Mike's on. If you suffer from depression and you're on medication, sometimes you find those medications aren't working as good, they never worked as good, or you've changed medications. Some people take 2 medications. Listen, there is a treatment that's FDA approved, and it is, by the way, it is not just FDA approved, it's prescription based, it's a real deal. And it is for people who have med-resistant depression. It's a magnetic pulse therapy, believe it or not. They use one of these big MRI magnets, but it's in such a way that it's directed to your brain, and it does therapy. It stimulates parts of your brain. It activates your brain where the medications are kind of like supercharged. It makes you more susceptible for medication to work. In some cases, people have stopped using medication. The great news is it's FDA approved, prescription only. Please check out TMS, like Tom Martino, right? But it's really TMSsolutions.com for more information. They can even do the checking and prescription for it if you're a candidate, or you can talk to your doctor. They're in Littleton, Cherry Creek, Centennial, and Fort Collins. Painless, non-invasive treatments. 303-928-0499. That's TMSsolutions.com.
Be more relaxed without worrying about malware compromising your devices or your identity getting stolen. Introducing LifeLock with Norton.
Are you sure?
What's that?
If we ever had zero interest rates.
Zero interest rates?
Yeah, Fed's lending to banks daily.
Oh, I was told one time there was a time when that happened and banks were taking advantage of it by doing something. They were doing like phony loans to each other and stuff and then charging interest. I don't know, whatever the hell. It was like...
Well, no, they can charge whatever they want.
I know, but there was a scam going on with it. I forget what it was. It was some kind of weird scam that it wasn't meant to be used that way. What's that?
Always find a way to scam it, don't they?
What's really scammy is negative. Who the hell would ever put money in the bank to get negative?
Well, only a country would do that, like China.
Right. But I mean, there's a lot of countries right now that are negative.
I know, but that's who would do it, and they do it.
Japan, I thought was
they do it, so people still borrow money.
Mark, what's going on with our IP lawsuit? Is that?
I don't know. No Monday.
Okay, it's okay.
Dude, I don't even want to think about
Oh, they went to a new attorney already.
Oh fuck! Are you kidding? They've been through more attorneys.
That's a sign of weakness. Sign of weakness.
That's 800-578-0706 for your free flip kit and VIP tickets now. They'll send you a tax lien blueprint.
You know what? That really was crazy.
What's that?
The entire Obama 8 years, the interest rates were
Well, but you got to give him credit for the economy starting to come around.
Okay, what did he do to get the economy?
He was the best.
What did he do?
Jerry.
Name a policy he did that helped the economy.
Well, you're going to say the feds.
He had shovel-ready jobs. He had shovel-ready jobs.
Come on, you can't say he did nothing.
But I'll tell you. Okay, do you want me to fucking tell you or not?
I'm asking you.
One of them
did
would
nothing.
be cash for clunkers. There's a small one, but it would be. I'm not kidding.
That was not necessarily good for the economy. I think that's
it
one of the
wasn't good for our industry.
Exactly, 100%.
But hold on. You ready? He bailed out a lot of fucking companies. He bailed out Ford.
No, Ford did not.
No, that was Bush who did that. Bush did it right before he left.
Are you sure?
Oh, not GM. I thought the banks. He
was bank bailout.
Yeah.
He bailed out a lot of companies. Is one thing he did. Which all that really did was save a bunch of fucking jobs. I mean, you can argue whichever way you want, but he did do some things to stimulate the economy.
I would agree. I would argue that everything he did created the economy we have now. Because without it, we wouldn't have Trump.
Without it, we wouldn't.
There you go.
Trump.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And you and Hillary, I mean, you guys...
Hillary.
You're killing us. I mean,
you are killing us with Hillary.
You know, he actually texted me the night of the election and said, how's your boy doing now?
Well, I was
Hillary's
just
killing
fucking
me."
around.
No, you weren't. No, you fucking weren't. He was right there with all the CNN people. Oh, Hillary's sweeping here in New York. No shit.
Yeah, she's sweeping out her freaking office.
Did you see those comments from Sanders
and her computer hard drive.
Hi, Bob Martino, you're a troubleshooter. Let's get right to the phones.
Branded titles. Tony said he had a question for our experts. Our experts are good to ask when it comes to the quality of the repairs, because that counts. But really, when it comes to buying it, Tony, I just have a few questions. If, in fact, you're buying a branded title to keep and you really want to keep it because you love the car and it's the cheapest way you can get into that type of car, there is nothing wrong with it, providing that all of the repairs were done properly. So what is your mission? Is it to own it a few years and resell, or is it to keep it?
It would be to keep it.
Then
it is about 30 to 40% cheaper.
Well, and realize, though, your insurance, if you put full coverage on that,
second part to my question,
it's not going to be worth anywhere close.
It depends. Now, here's the point, okay? If you have a vehicle, an exotic vehicle, and you want to insure it after a title, they do market value as opposed to replacement, so you do have a little bit of a diminish, but you also didn't pay as much for it, so it balances out. But there are cases where people buy salvage to save money, but they're not saving enough money. It's an illusion. So you have to be very careful, especially the more exotic cars go easier with salvage because people, I call them the wannabes, they can get a Ferrari for way cheap if it's been in a wreck, or salvage, because no one wants it who's into Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. When it comes to Mercedes, let's put it this way, the more expensive the car, the better deals with branded titles usually. When it comes to regular cars, I would not waste the time or energy unless you were saving an extraordinary amount of money. What kind of car are you talking about?
Well, I was looking at the pickups, like diesels and.
Okay, so they would be other, and you can save what, 30 or 40,000?
Well, 10 to 12,000 based on the
not worth it.
I would like to know how they do value it. Just take a 2015 GMC pickup that was salvaged because of a flood.
Okay,
I'll just take that.
That's right.
And then you buy it, and you buy it for, I don't know, $10,000.
Right.
And let's say if it wasn't salvaged, same mileage, same everything, it's worth 20. I would still argue when you go to insure it and you do get full coverage, you might only be lucky to get 5 if it's totaled.
Well, here's the bottom line. What they pay you is exactly what you're insuring. So if you have a car that was salvaged, what they will pay you is the value of that vehicle prior to the incident, no matter what it is. And if you pay what it's worth, you're going to get it. So you will be made whole if you don't overpay. No, you're not going to get the price of a regular vehicle of that vintage, but you did not pay for a regular vehicle of that vintage. So you're going to get what you're insured for. I mean, excuse me, you're going to get what it was worth a minute before, a second before the event. Here's the deal, though, okay? If you're only, I know this sounds crazy, Tony, but if you're only saving 10 to 12 grand, it's not worth it. It really isn't. I mean,
okay.
Now it might be the only way you could own that, but I don't see where 10 could be the determining factor. I would rather, if you said I'm going to keep it and you're true to your word, I'd rather extend financing and keep it and have it not branded than do it that way. If you're buying a more expensive car where you're going to save $40,000, $50,000, now we're talking something. If you're going to keep it, if you're going to resell, you can be stung badly because not only is it used now, more used, but it's also branded. What were you going to say?
Most people have been in this situation. They get into a car wreck, their car's totaled. They have the option to buy that back at a salvage price.
Right.
Let's say the option to buy back any given vehicle is $2,000.
Right.
They'll subtract the $2,000 from the cash. You get to keep the car. They give you the rest. I'm saying that $2,000. There's
a formula.
That $2,000 right there. That's what that vehicle's worth right now. We agree on that.
It's worth before repair.
No, I'm saying if you decide to buy back your own salvage vehicle from your insurance company.
But you buy it back at salvage, it still needs repairing.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, though, it's worth $2,000.
Right.
Now, if you put $10,000 into that, I'm saying I don't think you're now insuring a $12,000 vehicle. Even if you put that
What are you insuring, Mark?
That I don't know. I'd like to ask Compass because I would guess the insurance company, if you got into a wreck, would look back and go, oh, the value of that car was only $2,000.
Mark, you are looking, here's the way you look at it. You take your salvage vehicle price that you bought your car for. That's $2,000. You add the cost of repairs. To begin with, if those two numbers do not equal the cost, the price of a salvage vehicle of the same nature, you don't do it. Then when you insure it, Mark, you are insuring it. The only people who get in trouble are the people who overpay for it. If you truly put $10,000 into a $2,000 vehicle and the end result is $12,000, if on the market you can't sell it for $12,000.
No, let's say you could sell one that wasn't salvaged for $12,000. Let's say they're apples for apples.
I'm not talking about not salvage. I'm talking about a repaired salvage and if you can sell a repaired salvage for $12,000 and that's what it cost you to get there, you're not going to be hurt. If at the time that's what it would cost to go out and buy a repaired salvage, you're not overpaying for it.
I'm saying just the point it's got a salvage title, no matter what you do to it, is going to devalue it way below.
That's what I'm telling you.
Even if you spend the money to bring it back up perfect.
Mark. You're not listening to me, man.
Okay.
Let's say there's a $2,000 wrecked value.
That's right.
And $8,000 to fix it. Let's just say that.
$10,000.
And there is a market out there that you can compare. Are other salvaged repaired vehicles worth 10? If no, they're only selling for 5, then you don't repair it.
Got it.
So
that I agree with.
So when you discover that magic number, if you can buy your salvaged vehicle for that 2, and you can add 8 to it and have a viable, marketable vehicle at 10, you're not being hurt. When you insure it, it's going to be worth 10 by market value, not by replacement value. When you then
dealerships supposedly repair them, so they're selling them fully repaired.
But you should only pay salvaged repair prices, not normal used car prices, not even close.
They have a 2017 Silverado for $23,000. I've looked at the market value; they're around $35,000. It has 17,000 miles.
Okay. Now, you're saving money.
It's about $12,000 savings.
I understand that. And in your example, you are saving money if it's worth that. But I don't believe you have to see what other salvage vehicles, not what new ones are.
Gotcha.
They could still be overpriced for a repaired salvage. That's all you care about. Because what Mark was saying is you're not comparing to a new one when you get it wrecked. You have to. So what if there's another?
No, but the problem is you'll be paying insurance for a new one.
No, you don't. Not if you don't. If it's a repaired salvage, they may not even, first of all, let you do it.
Yeah.
For liability, you can. They may not let you cover collision. But no, they will not take the money for that if they're not going to pay it.
We've had calls where people have called up. They finally get into a wreck on their salvage vehicle, and they get shocked at how little they get.
Because
they go, how come I've been paying for this the whole time?
Because they didn't tell their insurance company. If you tell your insurance company you have a salvage vehicle, they'll treat you completely differently.
We should ask Compass.
I think a lot of people try to put one over on their insurance company and just insure it, and you can't do that
and
because
then the insurance company
it's a different vehicle. In many cases, they won't even insure it.
Because of the title?
Well, they don't look at your title. They just look at your VIN number. They might know if they do the research. You'd be surprised. Look at the people with hail damage. Look at the people with all kinds of damage that insure their cars. They only look after the fact, and they reserve that right in your contract. That's why insurance don't judge a deal by whether you can insure it or not, because that's not what you're going to get paid. I mean, it should be, but no, it's not. They go back and say, wait a minute, you didn't tell me this was salvage. You're not getting near what you think you're getting, and you're screwed, blued, and tattooed. Here's the thing. When you buy a salvage vehicle, here's what you compare it to. Other salvage vehicles, okay? Not new ones. Because there might be other salvage repaired vehicles that you can buy for $8,000, not $10,000. Listen, here's another thing. You also have to compare buying a salvage vehicle from Clodes and having it repaired. I mean, no matter what, you're dealing in risky territory. 10 to 12,000, in my opinion, is not worth the risk. Not on a vehicle like that, because you can go and extend financing and get a new one. You see, what I'm saying is, if you're going to keep it, I'm taking out your word you're going to keep it. That's what you said that made you worth looking at another vehicle. If you're not going to keep it, it's almost never worth buying one, ever. Because, unless you can find another willing soul willing to pay much less than you paid, you're always going to have a loss. Now, what you have to do if you're going to keep it 5 years is calculate what the loss might be, divide it by the 60 months, and that gives you some kind of an appraisal of what you're paying per month, if that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with paying for owning something, okay? You don't always break even, but you don't want to take too much of a loss.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning. Dan Kaplan.
So hot off the press. New late-breaking information.
Well, the worst thing is when people don't even know they bought it.
You
named 25. Stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
Stadium.
You can find one that's not a salvage.
This just came in my
yesterday. That was 2 or 3 days.
Then it's not late.
And it's a 10. Here's what I don't understand. 20-year or 21. What do they do? They only give you the rights for
$6 million a year. Here's what's weird.
Why do they do it like that?
You want to hear something strange? That same company does Kansas City and the Patriots Stadium.
How the hell do they call it Empowered?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They just showed the deals with
that's right, because it's a retirement company. But how can you make that much money to pay for that? How can it?
Because every game ever there, the announcers and everybody says they say it.
Do you think they make that in sales because of that? Like, would you ever hear that?
No, but it's Coca-Cola branding. It's not. They're not looking for sales.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason Furniture Row got out of NASCAR. It was too expensive.
Yeah.
Did they get out of it?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, people don't go buy a couch based on your race car.
Right.
But
particularly here in Colorado.
It gets that name and logo into the brain.
Yeah, but particularly here in Colorado, we don't have that many rednecks watching freaking NASCAR. So
we don't.
No.
We got
Texas.
We got jet cars, boy.
NASCAR truly the #1 spectator sport.
Perfect.
Maybe you should look.
Maybe in the U.S.
That bad?
No,
That sucks.
Soccer's #1.
Would you like a second shot at it?
What's #1? What?
Soccer.
Oh, it's a sport?
In the U.S., it's
actually, sorry, bro, football.
In the U.S.?
F-U-T.
Football.
Or in the world?
Man, I was in Mexico. We were on vacation one time, and there was some big game going on in soccer. We were going through this flea market called Market 8. 1,000 different little mom-and-pop businesses. I swear to God, no one was minding the store anywhere because they were all watching
We had the same thing when we were going through Europe. It was going on during the World Cup.
Yeah.
Every place you went.
That was Europe when we were there.
I'd like to order a pizza. Fuck you.
No, we're not serving right now. We're watching the game.
Who's that?
Shut up.
They literally shut down City Siesta.
Siesta.
Shut this thing in City Siesta.
And the bars were packed with people around those dudes.
Everybody who says that they have the best fans ever, okay,
okay. I'll tell you when.
Those soccer fans will kill each other.
Mike's on.
Usually like 20 people dead.
If you're looking for some extra cash, or you want to get rid of some old gold, silver, valuables, watches, whether you want the scrap metal price or it's maybe collectible or in between, you'll get the honest assessment from David Ellis. Tell him Martino sent you, and tell him that Martino says he's an old, honest codger. Just tell him that. Maybe he'll give you extra money for that. An old, honest codger. I've known him for 40 years. David Ellis, if you want to sell your valuables or just your scrap gold, silver, if it has value, David Ellis will know. Now listen, he's at 3rd and Clayton. And he's been helping consumers make decisions for years on jewelry and, of course, on getting rid of gold and silver. Don't send it to some far-off place. You can go right here at 3rd and Clayton. 303-322-8779. That's David Ellis. Another old codger sent you, Tom Martino. 303-322-8779.
But every team likes to claim that they have the best freaking fans in the world. But until they can register an earthquake, I don't want to hear about it. Okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mexico, when they beat Germany, you look it up. When they registered a Category 1 earthquake.
No!
Yep.
Are you shitting me?
Dead serious.
On the weakest, it was the weakest earthquake.
Yes, but they were actually registered. The seismograph people actually picked it up. Look it up. During the last World Cup, I believe they beat Germany, and I think it was in Mexico City, if I remember correctly. But everybody's jumping
how many
up and down.
people are in Mexico City jumping around at one time, man? Haven't you heard of Mexican jumping beans?
They're all over here.
Wow.
Not directed at you, though, Al.
These hours are getting lost. I mean, honest to God.
Well, it's like the old joke, that's how come Mexico doesn't have a good Olympic team?
No.
Is anybody who can run, jump, or swims over here?
My goodness.
Man, I'm glad you didn't buy lunch for everybody.
Oh, I changed my mind about this whole thing. Hello, Anthony?
We'll be lucky if Anthony shows up.
I know, what the heck? Where's the food?
She said it was going to be later.
There was a reason why we quit ordering from there. That's 3 o'clock Anthony's time.
It's noon. It's 12:30 now.
What truly are Mexican jumping beans?
I used to have some
beans with a
worm.
What is it, a bug?
And
they literally bug.
They don't really jump, really.
They move.
You used to buy them in a packet.
It's a worm, right? Right. And they eat the inside.
It's disgusting.
And when they're eating it, it moves. If you look at them, they really do move.
I know they are. They used to sell them in the back of comic books I read.
No.
I never bought them.
Well, that's the same thing. Remember they used to sell the sea monkeys?
Tom Martino here. Okay, so we talked salvage vehicles, right? Well, Jeff's got a comment on that. Jeff, what do you say about salvage?
Well, I've actually had a few small fender benders in the past couple of years with my older model sedans, and somehow different insurance companies, and even the same insurance company, which is my own, have totaled out each of the vehicles twice for full value.
So you had salvage vehicles and got full value?
Well, they were totaled out twice, and that was my other issue.
No, let me get this straight, though. Originally, how were the vehicles purchased originally?
They were purchased fair market value, no accidents in their history.
Okay, so they weren't truly salvaged, right? They were not.
No.
Okay, and then while you owned them, they were salvaged.
Yes, they were paid out as total.
And when they were paid out at total, you continued to drive them?
Yeah, I continued to drive them. That was my other issue.
But you got it repaired, right? You got it repaired, right? Okay. And how much did it cost you to get repaired?
Less than the full value.
Less than the check they gave you. They gave you a check, and for less than that, you were able to repair them.
You got the essentials repaired minus some body work for the most part to make them fully drivable. And most of the time, it's small fender benders.
No, that's amazing. Normally, that doesn't. Then you're driving it, and it was totaled again.
Yeah, and one of the times it was by the same insurance company with
and they paid you again, full value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap! What company was that? What insurance company?
Oh, I think that was USAA.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that. But technically, when you bought it back from yourself as salvage and repaired it, it was no longer salvage. But then if you got into an accident, usually the payout is way less than the true market value.
And that's what I was expecting. And that was the other thing is that if you buy it back, I was thinking you have to go get a seller's title on it. And with both these vehicles, I tried, and DMV and insurance that talked to the other one. Neither of them gave me information. How do I market this as salvage?
Well, no, they don't market. No, that's the good part. They don't market salvage sometimes when you buy it from yourself. They just let you take it. Now, there's an argument as to whether they should or not. Now, like with hail, they don't. But yours was actual damage, right?
One was hail, one vehicle had hail, then another collision, and the other one was 2 separate collisions.
And it's still going to show up on a Carfax or somewhere.
And that was the other thing is when I pull Carfaxes, when they pull Carfaxes, it somehow doesn't show up.
Okay.
Okay. You are totally an anomaly.
It's got wings and a propeller.
No, but it's totally an anomaly. Go ahead, Adrian. What's happening, Adrian?
All right.
Is this Adrian?
Hey. Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much. I've got a story for you guys
Okay.
A story to tell you guys, and it's more for all your other consumers out there.
All right.
About a month and a half ago, I bought my wife a brand new 2019 Chevy Silverado. Beautiful vehicle. Not here to say that Chevy's the best in the world or anything like that. It's black. I have always been very picky about my vehicles and keeping them very, very, very clean. Matter of fact, the day that we got it, I went home and put a wax job on it. So that it would stay clean and everything like that.
Yeah. What happened?
8 days later, we had a hailstorm hit our neighborhood.
Damn.
And the truck, because of new houses now, they don't build their garages at 20 feet like they used to. They build them at 19.2 or 19 foot, and big Chevy trucks are 19 foot too long, and the truck didn't fit in the garage. Long story short,
all right.
We got hail damage on the truck. Because we were in a hailstorm area, and just, I've listened to your show over the years, and you know exactly what happened, is that entire weekend, it happened on a Monday to Tuesday night, and then by that weekend we had roofers, siders, anybody that wants to make any kind of revenue or anything on hail damage, your junkies come out of the woodwork.
Right.
Well, that was also the case with all kinds of hail people for the cars. And I had about 5 or 6 people on a Saturday. I was doing some stuff in my garage, and the truck happened to be outside, and I was working on the truck, and I had about 5, 6 people leave me their business.
Well, what happened? What happened? Did you get approached by some scam?
Oh, hold on. Now I'll get to the scam part. And this is what I want with other people out there to be aware of.
Okay.
Every single hail company that wanted to take my truck and fix it, number one, they all says, well, what's your deductible? I said, it's $500. They said, we'll cover that.
Okay.
I'm thinking, great, okay.
Yeah.
And then they also said that we'll give you a rent-a-car. And they says, well, you don't have to give me a rent-a-car, but me sticking up for my insurance, I'm like, fine, that works for me. That's better for me. I don't have to use my insurance company because I already have a rent-a-car in my insurance company.
All right.
The thing that happened, and I know with the particular company that we ended up going with, and I'm not going to say their name because it's just
all right, go ahead.
I'm kind of still arguing with the guy, but they took our truck. And all the company says, we need to take your truck this week, but we're going to get to it in a couple weeks. They took it the next following Monday, and then on Thursday, my wife says, I thought we were supposed to get our truck this week. And I go, well, let me call up the shop and see where they're at.
Yeah. Now listen, Adrian, I appreciate you want to tell us a story like a novel, but we need to know, in the interest of time. Yeah, get there then.
Give the guy a second.
All right, go ahead.
There's film coming. So my insurance agent calls me up on Thursday and says, well, where's your truck at? We need to meet so I can look at the truck. And that rose up red flags because I told my insurance agent, it's at the shop. They haven't contacted you. That's what they've told me. So it took another week. We ended up going back down that night and picking up my truck because my wife says, I'm not driving this rent-a-car anymore. Let's pick up the truck. I went and picked up the truck, and this is where the story gets good. My truck, now mind you, I'm a very detailed person.
Yeah.
It had approximately, I don't know exactly how many dents it had, but it had about 100.
Yeah.
When I went and picked it up, it had over 200 dents on it.
Wait a minute. More dents? Do you think they did that to get more money from your insurance?
Bingo.
Wait,
Bingo. And I
were they more than 200? Hold on, more than 200 dents that were fixed, or was it still unfixed?
No, it was still unfixed. They had never touched it because they were waiting for my insurance agent to go on down.
So you were hoping, okay, so they took, wow, this might be a big scam. They took your truck, and while they had it, created more dings to get more money.
Yes.
Was it, by the way, was it Paintless Dent Repair?
It was a painless dent repair company, yes.
Okay. Now, that's why I always recommend you go to our people, man. They'll never do anything like that. Flexidona, Colorado.
Right. Yeah,
but here's the deal. What's the name of that company?
I'm not going to say because I'm still arguing with the guy, and I don't want to get insurance. I don't want to get in trouble with him.
That's not why he's
wait, man. But Adrian, give it to us off the air, though. This is a serious scam. If truly you believe they did that, you really believe they did that?
Tom, I know they did it for a fact because, like I said,
did you take photos?
This is why I developed it. No, that's the only thing that's
right.
the only thing.
Hold on a sec. Just hold on a sec.
Now,
really, that's really a good scam. If you think about it,
how would you prove it?
Couldn't we have started with that? Couldn't we have started with that?
No.
I mean, I was like drinking ground up glass.
Yeah. Okay, this guy, that's why I let him go. He is detail oriented.
It was over in their
That was the worst story ever.
I had a customer come in last week and ask me when it hailed at our shop because this car has hail damage, and I'm like,
can somebody make?
Are you trying to say that it was outside?
Every one of mine, man.
Mine got put in there. I mean, that's
yours
wasn't even.
It hasn't hailed here.
He always seems to come up a little short.
It was swish.
It's the first time I've ever had that happen.
I can't believe you let him go on.
He did it twice. He told my crew first, and then he came back to get me. Because my crew's like, we haven't had hail. So I went out there and I showed him a car that had been sitting on our lot for 3 weeks. I had the date it came in on the tow truck, and it's still there. There's not a single hail damage. Don't you tell me your car was outside here.
But even if it was, you don't have to.
He said I need it for my insurance. I just need to know the date. I don't need to. It's not your fault. It's like it didn't happen here. You better figure out where it happened, but it wasn't here. Don't lie to your insurance company with my place.
People, I don't know, insurance companies try to get the less for a lot, so we have to rush out of here.
I don't think we do, actually.
Chris made the switch.
Okay, short window.
Make the switch.
When?
JUUL.com.
5 away. Mike's on. We all know what a window well is, right? That window on the side of your house, it's a well that goes down deep, and then there's a window for escaping. It's called an egress window, technically. Builders put them in, and they rot out after years, or they just might be getting old because your house is old. DenverEgressWindow.com, the only company that specializes in these, and the best company. I've known the Sennett family, the owners, for years. They can put in new ones, they can rebuild old ones, they can put in the window, the sides, whatever you need. They can even secure the top so no one falls in them. 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221.
There it is, your man-made earthquake. World Cup goal against Germany.
I'm going to run downstairs. Mark, just whatever. I'll go to that one guy. I just got to run. I'll be right back.
Go to that one guy.
That one.
Maybe you'll tell another story.
By the time he's done,
and then the next day, like
I always look when people. Well, it was exactly the same except for.
Yeah. So, really, why did black come in? I guess maybe because
it was a black truck. And it's just
regarding lunch, guys. So they told me they were delivering at noon. I called the girl as a ding. I don't know if she's new, but anyway. So they said they're running behind, and I just talked to them like 10 minutes ago, and they'd get it here. So I personally don't think we should order Anthony's. They're just so sketchy with time. That's all.
They got no time.
They're pretty sketchy with ingredients too.
I bet you dabbing with him, we would have had a beer.
Of course.
words I said when she was in the hallway.
Did you miss it?
No, what happened?
No, he heard.
Al said if Daphne ordered it, it would have been here by now.
Because she'd have harassed
She's driven. She'll drive down there.
Especially if you want to postpone using your retirement savings or touching your social security.
She did not. Both.
Daphne came in and was like, I'm all upset and stuff, you know, she almost had like a tear eye goes over Mark, or over to Tom, listen to this. And Mark goes, Daphne, what happened?
And then she went,
Daphne, what happened? And it was one of those calls and stuff where they were Social Security was going to send the cops out.
The cops are coming to get me. And he felt with the outright. He's like, hey, Tom.
Between this and his misleading
did Mark fall for that when Daphne came in, or what?
Hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker. He was hooked. We had to get a pliers to take the hook out.
Hey, man. Everybody has a weak moment. Everyone is gullible at one time.
I don't either.
Just look at Al's wife.
I mean, your doctor that delivered you, he was...
There's no lease attached here. What is she talking
When he was delivered, he slapped the mother.
He slapped the mother. He said, what are you thinking?
Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms.
Don't go any length to scam people anymore.
Your laptop or conference room. Amazing.
No, I started getting text messages the other day. Gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta log on here and change your credit card for your Netflix. Oh, your Facebook needs a credit card. Crazy.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino.
You know when that GM
bailout has done more than $250 million LASIK procedures.
I thought eventually, I'm thinking of the banks. Eventually all the banks paid back.
But I mean, they filed their deal, but they took stock, and the stock never recovered enough to lost about 10 employees. Plus, there's a lot of note holders that had to take pennies on the dollar.
You know, your mom is so fat. I took a picture of her at Christmas last year, and it's still printing.
She jumped up in the air and got stuck.
She has her own zip code.
That's a good.
That's a mama joke.
If you're concerned about the markets, call today.
Your mom is so fat. When she went to the beach, a whale swam up and started singing, "We are family."
488-8604 or on yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW. Then you can hear Dan Kaplis impact your life this afternoon at 4.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station.
Paris wouldn't have been 18, would it? It would have been 17.
Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Adrian, we need to get the name. Did you get the name of the place? Without the name of the place, we can't do much. It's a scam, though. He said they picked this truck up. They was sitting there waiting for the adjuster. It had 100 dings when they took it and 200 when he picked it up because he picked it up before they fixed it, and he discovered it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have discovered it, and they would have gotten more money. That's a distinct possibility, Adrian. But you doubt it, Mark?
It's not that I doubt it. It would be kind of dangerous in this fashion. At some point, the insurance company would total it, and they are going to get nothing.
Right.
That's
and
right.
I agree with you. This is what, and
they probably know how much they can do and get away with.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
What do you think they do? Hit it with like a paintball gun with ice cubes or what?
Ball peening hammers.
I don't. Long story short, I ended up going to that company. He met out the next Thursday after that with the insurance company, because the insurance company met my wife at her store.
You know, adjusters know. Did they say some of this looks fake?
Nick Yutzi has told us they can tell, man.
The insurance adjuster actually gave us a check for exactly what they quoted us. And then we went down and literally, because I yelled at the guy, I said, "Dude, you know how particular I am about my vehicle."
Did you end up having the guy fix it even after you knew he scammed you?
Yes.
Why would you?
I just let it go.
Why?
Because I needed the truck fixed.
Why would you? Yeah, but why would you go to a guy who's demonstrated to be dishonest?
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, and I get it. And this is why I'm just telling you that I don't even think that it's just this guy. I think there's a lot of other companies because
well, we're going to look into it.
The 5 companies that came to my door, every single one of them said, "Let me have your vehicle right now. We'll give you a rent-a-car." And we'll have to put
but
it
that's
on
a lot of these places do.
That's just to do the quick close, but we have to move on, Adrian. Thank you. I mean, I'd like to know the name. He still didn't give us the name.
I'd like him to tell another short story.
Kathy, what's going on with your 03 Subaru Forester?
Yes. We purchased an 03 Forester, and evidently, well, not evidently, and you don't have to holler at me because
I'm not hollering.
I've already done that myself.
Am I hollering at people today? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're not. I mean, what I did was wrong.
What did you do?
We bought this car, and it had a broken tower on it that
a broken what?
Strut tower.
It's a tower that holds your spring thing.
Your strut.
Onto the strut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your strut tower. What about it?
It's broke.
Well, that's not major, is it, guys? Is that a major problem?
No.
It's a new strut.
No. So what are you calling about, dear? What can we do for you?
So the strut is pulled away from the frame, and everybody that I have taken it to will not fix it.
Can't you just put a quick strut in it, guys?
Do they
wait. Are you talking where it mounts to the body of the vehicle or the actual component?
Yes, it mounts onto the body of the vehicle. That's all.
Yeah, and so you have damage to the superstructure.
So was there a collision?
Yes, we found that out later because I did not do my research like I was supposed to.
Okay, what did you find out, Kathy?
Well, I found out that it's going to take like $5,000.
No, what did you find out about the collision, and how did you do that?
Well, we finally pulled a fax on it, and we found out that it was totaled out in 06.
Kathy, that could be fraud. Did you buy this from a dealer or individual?
Individual.
Hold on. Now, it was totaled. That's different than buying as is. You got to hold on. This sucks. I always say when you buy as is, it's as is, but this might be different. I'm Tom Martino. More to come.
The drive home can be more relaxing.
Hold
on, man. That
was total.
Yeah, so it had to have a salvage title to get rid.
It's not going to be a fun one.
Why?
How did she not notice that when she went to pick up the dang car? I'm sure it didn't drive straight.
Because in order,
why couldn't a guy that can weld actually just fix it?
You'd be amazed.
Is it $5,000?
That's what
they're going to have to cut.
It's all
part of the structured subframe.
It's all unitized. It's all unitized. You pull the whole assembly off, and you can buy it from Subaru.
So
steel.
That's why this car was salvaged. No, why can't you just do that one area? Is what I'm saying.
Because
this is fraud.
No,
this is fraud, man. I don't care if it has this.
Well, Tom, that guy, that Adrian was fraud. If he knew that they did that, he turned in an insurance company. He committed fraud.
You know why? I think he got a kickback. I think
that's what he was arguing. He wanted the money back for the.
But what I'm saying, that is fraud. What he did, knowing if he actually said that.
Yeah, but he didn't know.
He couldn't know what.
He said he did, but it could have hailed while it was there.
Yeah. What the hell?
Well, I mean, that technically would have been another claim.
There you go. Another claim. Yeah.
Another deduction.
Could have been another claim. There you go.
So I think he got pissed, found out about it, and made a deal with the guy. Listen,
I'll bet you're right.
Giving me
yeah, but then why would he call it?
Because he's an idiot. He wanted
he wouldn't give the name.
Well, he wanted to talk to somebody.
He don't have his truck fixed yet.
He's sitting at the bar, no one's there yet.
We give 20 minutes of airtime. Oh my God.
We're the first ones that listen to the whole story.
Listen. Let
He
me
made
tell you
new friends in 20 minutes.
Long story short.
Which never is.
I know, it's remarkable.
And we went into the garage. I got my lawnmower that day, and I was cutting the lawn. That was before I got to my truck.
But what are you trying to tell us?
Well, hold on.
Well, my neighbor
hang on, I'm getting there. I'm getting to the good part right now.
Hold on, Tom.
Hold on to your hat.
Tell me you don't get this. Tell me you don't get those customers that want to talk to you in the counter and tell you stuff. And you're so stinking busy, and you're like,
he was teasing.
Okay, yes.
Suzanne was texting with a listener.
Didn't live that far away. It was 10 minutes.
Listen behind the scenes one time.
She talked the entire time. I couldn't get a word in.
And she goes, sometimes it's
her
better.
Stories, there was no ending, there was no purpose, there was no goal. It was just like she was going through the course of her day. I kept expecting.
She was giving, you're like,
and?
Apparently she tuned in and we were talking about, quote, fatties.
That's a great quote. That's a good quote.
I love the show, but sometimes I don't want to see how the sausage is made.
Don't want to see what's behind the curtain.
Somebody's listening.
She goes, I tuned in and all I heard was Tom talking about fatties.
Virtual Downs is out for regulators for January through March, and already hosts racing in the fall.
Well, what do a moped and a fat girl have in common?
What?
They're both fun to ride, but you don't want your friends to see you.
God. She was reading me the text back and forth. It was fucking hilarious. And she was so serious. I was shocked by all the cussing, and when I tuned in, they were talking about fatties.
I was telling her, I said, you should hear it when Mark and Tom get into it. Do you ever watch the video feed? Now that's awkward. She's like, I have a couple times. You must be a saint. Okay, I was surprised to hear so much cussing, although I know for sure. One time they were making fun of fat people. Big fatties. Wasn't what I expected. That's not to look behind the curtain.
I like the sausage.
That's what I thought it was.
That is funny. That is so funny. That idiot, that pissed me off though. When he knows something's wrong or he didn't.
You said idiot twice in their mic.
But that doesn't.
He wanted to. He was upset.
Doesn't it make you mad though when someone knows something is wrong?
Yeah.
And they continue doing it, and I bet you're exactly right.
And then calls about it.
That's the part that's throwing me off. Is why did he call about it?
What's he want you to do?
Because they want to be a
I think he's probably trying to threaten the other.
Now
he's
making himself feel a little better.
There you go.
But he's trying to threaten the other guy. Goes, look, I will freaking take you to task. Look, I already started this.
Look, I already called a radio.
Give me some money.
It's like all those Democrats going there and saying green, 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 and they fly there in a private jet.
Give me some money.
To make themselves feel good.
Yeah, but they offset the carbon credits. They got carbon credits.
Yeah, you just have to make a quick stop and pedophile island.
They all drive Priuses.
That's right.
I wonder what a citation, what kind of footprint a citation. And let's go a 1980 citation.
Dude, some of the 1965 Corvair with 163 horsepower was getting 43 miles to the gallon.
That's the latest. Now, Impact
Corvair? Huh? Corvair. 160 horsepower.
I had it for
no, I didn't. A friend of mine had it.
Man, the early 90s Civics
they were
get
very
45 all day
fast. They sort of
long.
afloat.
They're very unsafe.
You don't get no power, but you get gas mileage out of them early 90s Civics all day long.
Most dangerous car on the road.
Yeah, okay.
Because you get going, I think it was around 90 miles an hour or so, the front end would start to float.
Look at this. I did not know this happened. I swear to God. In China now, if you lose your cat, they can clone it.
Yeah. It's extremely expensive.
Give you an exact duplicate of your cat.
Well, why would they do that? Just to eat it?
They can do the same thing with dogs, but I want to say it's like either $15,000 or $25,000.
They're all hairless Sphinx.
Yes. And then it's even more for dogs. But they do warn it will have a different personality, but it will look exactly the same.
Well, who gives a shit? Look at Rap Bastard. There's a million labs look like them, right? Why would you need to clone them?
Exactly.
Unless it's an odd color or something. But a black lab, I swear to God, I wouldn't know one from another.
Yeah, but you're not a lab.
I guess.
You don't have a nose for it.
Well, I guess.
So I wouldn't want the exact same dog.
That is great. No, actually, if you had the perfect hunting dog, why wouldn't you want it? Seriously, why wouldn't you want the same one?
Because I can build a
working dog.
Most of the time, it's the personality you like anyway.
Yeah,
why can't they clone the personality?
I don't know. Because it's environmental.
But it's the same owner.
Because you can't take God out of the equation, man.
We've tried, but it hasn't worked.
14 years older.
No, you're right. The person would be older.
Everything's different.
Just like when they're cloning those polo.
But if it's a clone, the brain is the same on birth, right?
No, the DNA is the same.
The DNA,
that's it.
Exact. It's an exact duplicate.
It's an exact replicate.
Listen, man, those polo ponies are amazing.
How about if you lost your spouse and they could recreate an exact clone at the age she died?
How much does it cost to stop that?
How we put these guys out of business?
Pay you. I'm buying them out.
You know, the technology is exactly the same. They're doing horses and dogs. I mean,
remember Dolly was the first that sheep that had to be in the fucking 80s.
But didn't that die?
They absolutely can clone
the first one.
They just
well, they all die. They don't live forever just because
what's the
they're
difference?
clones.
They're doing a horse. Why can't they do a person? Why?
You know they are.
I don't know if they are. I know they can, but the moral issues, I think
you
it's all
don't think
moral.
China is like making huge freaking...
Is that for more stir fries?
I do know it's possible. Think about it. Why would it not be possible? If they're doing
100% is. You know it is.
If they're doing a cat.
If they can do a cat, yeah, they could probably.
When they come out with their own NFL team, we'll see who's left.
And they all
average
the
guys
exact
8'9".
Yeah, I would bet on that one. Yeah. Unless we change teams.
What you all want to know? Nick Yutzy wants to know what company that was.
That guy wouldn't tell us.
He wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, because he's in on it. He didn't want us to get them in trouble because
let's get Nick on and ask him real quick if he can tell the difference between real hail and someone trying to phony.
That'd be great. That's a good one, right?
Is there the anatomy of a hailnet?
Tom Martino.
The DNA duplication of a helmet.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the Troubleshooter Extended, where we go until 2 o'clock. Welcome. If you're looking, by the way, for Sean Hannity, I'm obligated to tell you. He's on the Freedom. I'd like you to stay here, but he's on 760 Freedom Radio, and also the FM is, which one was that? 93.7 Freedom Radio.
How come we don't have an FM? Are we going to?
I don't think.
I think we were HD, right?
Yeah, I don't know actually what they're doing with the digital part. I don't know. But anyway, we're on good old KHOW 630 KHOW in Denver, and also on the internet, on live on Facebook and live on YouTube and live on the iHeart Radio app. Also, our affiliates. Well, one of our affiliates dropped off, but listen, you can just try to find us anywhere. You can download us, do the podcast, and whatever. What happened? We did not forget about Kathy, by the way. Just so you know, Kathy, we didn't forget about you. Kathy had a broken strut. It's going to cost her $5,000. It's terrible. Now, this to me is fraud. So I want to talk to her about it. Kathy bought an 03 Subaru Forester. You bought it used as is. You bought it from a dealer. Is that right, Kathy?
No. We bought it from a private owner.
That's different.
And
okay. That private owner, even if it was as is, was it sold as a salvage? Did you know it was salvaged?
No, because he had on there that it had a clean title.
You know what?
And
then he defrauded you. I would sue this guy in small claims court. $7,500 will help you get there and show you what to do through our attorneys. This guy took advantage of you, or this gal. I mean, who was it that sold it to you? How long ago was it?
Well, see, that's the problem. I think we've waited too long.
How long ago was it?
We bought it at the end of March, the 1st of April.
It's not too late.
Around in there. It's not too late.
Listen, this is terrible.
Well, the reason why I was calling is, it's a good car outside of this one problem.
Well, you're going to have a lot of money invested. How many miles on it?
It has 132,000, I think, is what it has on it.
And it's going to cost $5,000 at least to fix it.
Yeah, that's
and you'll never get your money back ever.
No.
And you're going to. And how long will those transmissions and engines be good for, Al?
Yeah, they're good units, but that year is notorious for leaking oil and head gasket issues. They have a lot of stuff.
Listen, you got a lemon, Kathy. You got to decide what to do. What did you pay for it? What did you pay for it?
We paid $35 for it.
35 what?
3,500.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank God.
And then
we're not going to yell at you.
Then we put on a timing belt because I took it to a Subaru
Well, no,
guy,
that's good news. That's good news. You got that done.
He put the timing belt on it, and then I paid for all of that, and then he looked at me and said, well, I wouldn't let anybody drive that with a front end problem. And I said, well, why put more money into it, then why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Oh, my goodness. I want to ask you a question. The part that's damaged, where the actual strut goes, is it rotted or is it cracked?
No, it's rotted and pulled away.
Rotted.
From
You
the
use the
frame.
word
Yeah.
rotted. That's way different than a collision.
Yeah, the reason is some of those had that metal problem with those, and they were East Coast cars or Detroit or whatever, and they start coming apart, and what happens, that whole structure is welded basically to the rail where the motor sits in the cradle. That's why it's so expensive. You have to do this great work, and it really is a tough place to be, and that's the stuff when you do inspections you look for. But that one, was it not making noise when you bought it, when you drove it?
No, it didn't make any noise. I
Probably got it connected somehow with big washers or, right? I mean,
is it making noise
Well,
now?
No, I mean, like I said, it's pulled away from the frame of it, and it looks horrible, and that's why everybody tells me not to drive it. But I was just wondering if there was anybody who buys used cars like to part out, like.
Yeah, but you're not going to get near what you paid.
Yeah, there
Well,
are multiple places.
I know that. I am going to take a loss. I just don't know where to start because I tried selling it on my own, and I was honest, and they go, "Oh, we don't want it."
Well, why don't you sell it to somebody who knows how to fix it? Why don't you say salvage? Is the title clean, or does it show a salvage?
It was clean, she said.
No, it's clean.
Yeah, why don't you go after the guy?
Well, because I thought, number one, it was too late to go after him.
No, it's not.
And
I would go after him in small claims court. We can help you there.
But I don't
know
get
what
it.
to do.
It's not salvage, though, she's saying.
Kathy, was it totaled by an insurance company?
Well, I don't know, because he was like the fifth owner, evidently the
You said
first
you did a
owner.
Carfax. Did it show a total loss?
Yes.
Well, then it
Yes.
was. Okay.
He needed to disclose that.
It doesn't show it on the title. It
I'm
comes
not
out as a
talking about
clean-
the title. It shows it on Carfax. Does it show it when he owned it? Did he buy it like that? What?
And what does it actually say on
Obviously.
Carfax? Do you remember?
Pardon? What was that?
What does it actually say on the Carfax? Do you remember? Did it say
Well,
total
the
loss?
Carfax said that it was totaled out in, I think it was 06.
Okay.
And then it had 3 owners after that.
Yeah, maybe this guy
we
didn't
got
know.
it.
Maybe this guy didn't know. I'd sue him in small claims court anyway. No matter what.
And the total could be for something totally different. This could just be from hitting a pothole when it's rotted like that.
Okay, very quickly, Nick Yutzi, did you hear that call? He's with Flexit of Colorado. Did you hear that call where the guy said he went to a place or he dropped his truck off or they took his truck? It had 100 dents when they picked it up and 200 when he checked on it.
Yep, I did hear that.
Have you heard of this in the industry where people add to the work to get more money from the insurance?
Yeah, that is common out there. I actually lost off a job in the beginning because some guy was doing that.
Really? And how do they do it?
Usually it's a sock and a golf ball.
And can you tell if you're an adjuster?
It is so hard to tell. I mean, it is very hard to tell. Same size dent, if they're hitting at the same pressure.
What kind of sock do you use?
Yeah.
A thick one.
So listen, man, that's
I
too
think
bad.
I think they probably use Titleist balls. I'm sure.
That's really too bad. Nick, do you have any special?
Yeah, there's a lot of shops out there.
If you want it to be done, honestly, Nick, Flexit of Colorado, 303-619-6273. Any specials right now, Nick?
He's got great discounts all the time, man,
I'll
for
do
our
a
listeners.
free pickup and delivery.
Free pickup and delivery?
Yep,
and he'll do it right.
For you.
You can usually
hold
get
on.
the deductible
And on big
handled.
jobs, $500 savings, 303-619-6273. Pickup and delivery, too. Thank you, man.
He just
Marty,
did another one for me, by the way.
Marty is saying he was somehow threatened. Go ahead, Marty. What's happening?
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
What's going on?
I purchased a Jeep from Broadway Auto Nation for about $58,000 in February of 2018. And we ran into multiple issues with respect to the vehicle. What we learned to find out was the death wobble, which is a known issue.
Yeah, it is a known issue, but don't they fix it? I mean, obviously these cars are loved by everyone, and not every one of them can have it, otherwise they'd never sell them.
Right. With this particular car, we had 4 to 5 experiences with the death wobble. Brought the car in multiple
It's where
times.
all of a sudden you're driving along and you hit a bump or something and it starts shaking. And for some reason, some of them don't have it. Guys, have you ever heard of it? The death wobble on the Jeep? It's all over the internet.
Absolutely, I almost died once.
Can you fix it? No.
No, honestly, it's pretty bad. When the wheel starts going back and forth.
Can you fix it?
You have to. Yeah, you absolutely fixable. Absolutely. How? There are multiple reasons those things are caused. It's anywhere from the steering box, the type of tires, lift kits, linkages in the steering. I mean, the list goes on. We've all done the repairs. It is fixable.
Have you tried to fix it, Marty? Have you tried to get it fixed?
Yeah, we've brought the car in 5 times to Broadway AutoNation. It was a disaster every time we brought it back.
If it's under warranty and they can't fix it, couldn't you call it a lemon and get and take it to arbitration?
That's the angle that we've gone through. We went through the whole process. We were getting rental cars.
All right, what happened? You went to arbitration?
Yep, and the arbitration, that was kind of a sham in itself.
Well, the Better Business Bureau does it, so what do you expect? What was the end result?
It was actually a manufacturer's arbitrator, but they basically said that since the manufacturer or Jeep AutoNation offered aftermarket parts to repair the vehicle, which were not, which were advised against us by the service department accepting.
Okay, I don't understand. You're saying Jeep is offering it, and the service department saying don't do it, and they both work for Jeep.
Yes.
And so because they're saying because there is a solution available, it's not a lemon, right?
Right, but then the service department is saying the aftermarket parts may or may not fall under the warranty issues, so they advise us not to take aftermarket parts.
What they're saying is, listen, okay, it's a problem, all right? But I do believe that you might fall into the category of not wanting it fixed because there are solutions. And what they mean is the solution is not guaranteed by Jeep. But Jeep guarantees the Jeep. It's not going to void your warranty. And then those parts they put in, those are the ones they're not guaranteeing. But bottom line is, if it's fixable, it's fixable. If an independent arbitrator found that, I can't believe you won't even take a chance. Hold on.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's
swing in or out my man door. My guy's asking how. That's what I did, is set out. But then I started thinking of my house, all of them go in.
No, they don't.
Where do your house on your front door?
Don't always go in.
I think they all go in.
And I think you do that so because if it blows open and stuff. If you
you're right. My garage, my barn had it. You're right.
Because if it blows open, you could.
You're right. It went in.
Kink it.
Well, what happens if the wind's on the inside?
But Mark. Well, wait a minute though. If it goes in, right. It'll never get caught. Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's logical.
He almost screwed me.
No. I was just visualizing.
That's just because you like your doors to go both ways.
I was visualizing.
I don't look at which way they swing.
I guess every single door I've ever seen on a house, and every door goes in.
Except for a storm gate. It's like storm doors.
Because you add them later, yeah. Okay.
Wait, you're saying so your car doors open in.
This is what we deal with.
All day long.
Can you believe him saying that? You guys are going to miss. Al's going to miss his own pizza.
I know. I've done it before. Absolutely.
Yeah, he passed the guy that passed the pizza on the stairwell.
On the stairwell, yeah. I had to go to my golf game, which I got one tomorrow. I got a tournament.
You might miss that.
Where are you playing?
Walnut Creek up by Boulder, 36. The ASA, Colorado, the Automotive Service Association. You belong to ASA? Any of you guys? I love them. I think they do a great job. Got great classes.
Members of ASA, is that what you said?
Hey, man, I started thinking about this. Why would, if there's room, like when I back in and park there, is there plenty of room that the door's going to be able to swing in? I'd much rather go in, I think. I mean, is there room? I'm asking you.
I don't like them in. Do you like them in? Oh, that's the
okay.
problem with the
I don't know how many feet between the door and where the closest the RV
that's the rule.
See, yeah, I was going to say on your building they've got to go out.
Right.
Like at the garage, the garage shop's got to go out, so that if there's a problem,
they can bust from the inside. Okay.
Easier than you can. Because we do the same thing with the cars. We make sure that if they're parked inside, they have the keys in the ignition. The fire department will move them out. But if they have to look for the keys, they won't even bother with them. We've had that conversation with the safety inspector before.
Yeah.
If it's in the parking lot, of course they're out. But once the cars are in the shop, they have to have the keys to ignition at all times. So
we've got them. You ain't moving that car.
That's true.
You're gonna have to put the tires on. You're gonna have to.
Hey guys, pizza's here.
Oh, the Lord heard our afflictions. There's manna from heaven.
Who's gonna man the air if we're all eating pizza? Mark, you're in charge. We're going to eat.
Yeah,
you'll do it. Plus, when you buy right now, I even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required, and I include the audiobook for free.
Yeah, but I started thinking of everything. I started thinking of my barn, my house, everything goes in.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time?
Yeah.
Babbel.com, download the app and get 50% off select plans for a limited time. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll find your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now,
the guy that I work with says every door goes in, including his car doors.
by matching them with
I'm kidding.
What if it's a slider?
Yeah. Have it go in.
Before you know it, you're having
All right, thanks, dude.
conversations voiced by native speakers.
You're saying every door you have goes in. No, what if it's a slider?
It goes in.
He would have screwed you. You got plenty of room. That would be the only reason.
Well, I don't have plenty of room, but what's it going to matter? You don't leave the door open. I mean, I'll have room to open the door.
Oh, well, that's what I meant. If you someone.
But I would have to close it to go that way. But I mean.
What I'm saying is, if someone was parked there and someone opens it up and hits your vehicle.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
What would you do?
Just the door going in or out. Oh. Tom's trying to tell me that.
He's screwing you.
Tom was trying to tell me his car doors open in. You know how they have Lambo doors? How come they don't have ones that go down?
It's another world, man. Now, I will say, I probably enjoyed more of Croatia. And
you said
I enjoyed in Slovenia. Those were nice places.
I'd be bored.
Well, what I was trying to say to Dick was...
Did you do anything in Rome or Venice?
Yeah, I'm in Rome. So we went to the Vatican. That was
I don't think you could.
We did too. We spent the whole day
really
there.
don't.
And I went up to the Palatine Hill, which is that above the Colosseum. I already had done the Colosseum.
Okay.
So I went up that up. It's crazy. And then all the arches, and we walked around at night in Rome, and that was just
I see what you're saying. Not if you use different side marbles, whatever.
Oh, the aqueducts and all
But you just
pizza on the street. They just put a table out on the street and you just eat.
The
pizza, the pasta. I had more pasta than
much. That's the bottom line. They could
pasta. Everything's pasta.
They could look at the velocity and the size and go, there is no way a piece of hail traveled it, whatever.
But that Adrian, that just makes me
Guys are
he
big
knew it
fans.
happened. He
Look
knew
at
it
all these
happened.
papers.
And he let the guy fix it. I'll guarantee
That's
Tom's
smart.
right. Tom is right. That the guy got a kickback. I'll guarantee it.
Or he's trying.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Why do you think that guy said the body shop added to the hail damage? He said he took his truck in with 100 dents. Then he checked on it because his adjuster needed to go over there. And when he looked at it, it had about 200 or more dents. Yet he still had the place fix it. Dan, why do you think he bothered having that? Then he still had them fix it.
I have no doubt that he was getting a kickback, just like you said. And that's what he was talking with the guy.
Or a discount of some sort.
I think he caught him and said, okay, bro, now that you did this, you know how particular I am on my truck. Now I want some money for this. Because he wouldn't give out their name either, yet he had his insurance company fix it, knowing it was fraudulent.
And he said he was still talking with the guy. What else do you talk with him about? His kickback.
Still trying to work it out with
Well, you heard him tell a story. He could have been talking about anything.
What about the death wobble? It's a real thing, but it is fixable, and if it's fixable, you fix it. I don't understand. Marty went through arbitration.
Well, he was saying he didn't want aftermarket parts.
Now, here's one thing I'm going to tell you, no matter what. First of all, this thing about aftermarket parts pisses me off, and I'll tell you why. Aftermarket parts doesn't mean inferior parts. It can, but even OEM can mean inferior. There are some parts that I'll guarantee you that these guys won't order OEM.
Sometimes the aftermarket does a job of fixing what the original part has a problem with.
Absolutely. An example, Felpro head gaskets. The manufacturers did not make the motor, machine them correctly. Felpro came out with a replacement. I will not put anything but a Felpro on those cars.
So, Marty,
He's talking about Subaru.
Listen, I sympathize with you, man. You got a brand new Jeep. You spent $58 grand on the damn thing. But are they willing to fix it?
Well, I think you have to look at the timing of it. They've had the vehicle since April.
I'm asking if are they willing to fix it?
The fix that as I understand, is not come out, and it's not certified by Jeep.
I'm not asking it to be certified. What I'm asking, is there a fix for it?
We've been told there's not a fix.
Then what did the arbitrator say? There's not a fix. Go to hell.
I think what he's saying is there's not a fix with OEM parts.
I'm asking you what the arbitrator said. Why did the arbitrator rule against you?
The arbitrator stated that there was only 2 repairs on the vehicle, of which those actual invoices supplied by FCA were not the 5 that I have provided your company of the actual repairs. And so they said since it wasn't 4...
3 times or more, right. On the 3rd time they couldn't do it, give them the 4th, right.
Right. But
he's going by the strict lemon law. He's going by the strict lemon law. I understand. What about the 30 days loss of use?
They didn't even address it.
Well, you had to bring it up. But
we brought it up, but they didn't address it in their analysis.
First of all, Marty, I just want to state for the record, I don't believe you. It can be fixed, but let's say it can't be because you're hell bent on it can't be fixed. Yet there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, no, thousands of Jeeps driving around that don't have it. So it obviously can be fixed. So, but you're saying,
Tom, I don't want to interrupt you, but that's as of August of 2019, they still have not come out with the repair. They've stated that there is a repair, but the manufacturer.
I'm not talking about the manufacturer. I'm talking about getting it fixed.
Well, that's how they get it fixed. That's what that's
Marty,
the recommendation.
If you took it to a 4-wheel drive shop that knew their ass from a hole in the ground, they would fix it.
I paid for a warranty, Tom.
I know, but see, now we're talking about mitigating damages. You're sitting there with a hole in your roof, the insurance won't cover it, and you're saying, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. I'm saying, Marty, if that can be fixed, what I would do is get it fixed and sue them for the repair. That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
And that's what we're doing. We have a lawsuit against them, and there is a class action against them. But complicating the issue, and I think this was brought up on your previous section, is, part of this has got into a verbal abuse issue where they have actually threatened me.
Now, let's take that separately. Let's take that separately. Okay. First of all, what are you suing them for? I want to talk about that first. What are you suing them for?
Well, initially we just asked them to trade the car for another vehicle in their store, but they said they can't do that. Because
in the lawsuit, what are you asking for? In the lawsuit,
just the buyback, the $58,000.
Okay, all right. Now, and that was filed when?
About last month.
Did they answer it?
They have not answered yet.
Well, then they're in default. They have 21 days.
Right. I think we're just approaching around 21 days right now.
Okay. Do you have a good attorney that knows how to handle these?
I have an exceptional attorney.
Good. You're going to win then. I don't see how you lose. If what you're telling me is true, if there is no fix, then you're going to win.
I don't think you get the exact amount.
I want you to keep. I'd like you to call in on car. He will. No, if he.
I will. I'll call you guys back.
So there's no use?
Well, no, yeah. If he had use, but he had more detriment than use. He's lost more time.
How many miles are on it?
There's about 17,000 miles on it.
Yeah. So
one of the other interesting parts of this, Tom, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that when we were in the first meeting and the first dust up on our rental cars, the GSA basically came out and said, look, we're well aware of this death wobble issue.
Of course
but
they
it's
are.
Not our problem. It's Chrysler's problem. So we know there's a problem.
Who said that? The dealer?
The GSA dealer, the general store manager, or GSM.
Well,
sorry.
It isn't their problem. I mean, it is and it isn't. I mean, they can't remake the car. I mean, it kind of is. But do you understand, Marty, that you do acknowledge that not every Jeep has it, right? If you can't acknowledge that, I'm not even talking to you.
No, I agree with you on that. But they say the single suspension is the key rider, and then actually one of your I think one of your staff members said that they have issues with Fords as well. So
yes,
it's because of the single suspension system.
Guys, have you ever looked into it here at all? Have you ever looked into it? No? Okay, so here's the deal. We really do want you to be a regular caller and let us know the process, because if this is true and they're denying you coverage and you're taking it to court, by God, I want to publicize it and give other people the option of doing the same thing, if that's the truth. But quickly, can you, in 30 seconds or less, tell me about the abuse? What have they actually said? I want to know the actual threat. I'm going to kick your ass. What's the threat?
Sure. So basically, when I went into the store about...
Just tell me the threat, bro. I don't want to hear the setting.
I'm going to drop you. And he said,
wow.
I'm going to effing drop you.
Wow.
And I said, are you physically threatening me? He goes, absolutely. Get the F out of my store.
Wow. Did you record it?
Oh, yeah, it's all recorded. I sent you the transcript.
Okay,
of the
good. I'd like to have the recording. Please send the recording, Suzanne.
Is it video?
Have it, Marty, is it video or is it...
iPhone. It's a recording.
Good. I want to hear it. Please send it to me. I'm Tom Martino with more coming up. I want to tell you about GenesisTotalExteriors.com for the best when it comes to siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, and more. They even do roofs. They do kitchens and baths and basements. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Mark Szymanski is the owner. In this time of home improvement fraud, you need someone like them.
This is Denver's talk station.
Well, and they don't. Well, I doubt it unless they did the the factory flip kit. But the only other thing I would say is, don't put factory, the argument about aftermarket parts. Well, if he does repair it with the aftermarket parts, he's 16,000 miles and about a year into this car. He could affect the rest of that vehicle.
I'm trying to see what I'm going to watch Sunday.
Well, I think that's his
concern. Is there a Saturday night game already?
And I think that's what the service writers were advising against.
Yeah. There are pieces of this whole story we're not getting.
There's got to be something with the Jeep.
There's something in addition that we're not hearing. If we got the people from the dealer, we'd hear a whole different story. God only knows.
But he's got recorded.
Yeah, I don't disagree that part of it.
Is it a video or audio?
I'm trying to figure out the whole death wobble. Back to, if Jeep's saying they'll repair it and warranty it, why are they telling them not to repair it?
The dealership's not.
The dealership said they could repair it with aftermarket parts.
No.
Yeah.
I thought Jeep said that.
I think they got it backwards.
They said they can fix it with with aftermarket parts. However, they advise against it. I think the reason they advise
you're missing it.
Hold on, Your Honor, let the plaintiff speak. Let the plaintiff speak.
Now wait a minute. He sent you all the paperwork. Just give us the paperwork.
I'll say it to you in words you understand.
Good, and then I'm going to correct your simpleton little ass.
You ready? Here's how it went down. The manufacturer said we can repair it with aftermarket parts. The dealership said, albeit they might be able to, we would not do it.
Wrong.
And they actually said, albeit.
Yeah. But no, he was saying that it was actually recommended to him prior to them actually going to the arbitration. The arbitrators noted it. They said it can be fixed with the aftermarket parts. Henceforth, it doesn't fall into the limit.
Exactly what I just said.
No, it is not, because it was with the service department.
Dan, will you tell him what I just said?
Would you tell him to shut the fuck up?
Dan, albeit you're sitting there.
Somebody's going to get stuck.
But he was told on a couple of different occasions not to do it.
But if they can fix it, who gives a shit?
The reason I think that they advise against it is because if he does it with aftermarket parts, it could affect the rest of the remaining vehicle warranty.
You know, the one thing we never asked him, did he do any mods whatsoever on it?
Well, that's what he was just saying.
Because a lot of the Fords I looked into, they had fucking snowplow shit on them, they had all kinds of shit.
Yeah, if they already sent it with
a
lift kit on it.
They still should do it, but...
Right, but if they already sent it with a lift kit on it, he bought it lifted, well, you already bought a vehicle that's lifted, what...
I'm so glad you're saying that. That's what I'm thinking. He bought something that's been modified from the thing, and they're selling it as is.
Even if he put a big-ass heavy winch in the front, they can say that can cause...
If you put bigger tires and wheels, that can cause a death wobble. It amplifies it.
Not only that, a sheepskin seat cover has been known to cause all kinds of shit.
And dice. Don't forget furry dice.
Depends on what kind of sheepskin you use. If you use the altered DNA sheepskin, you have
Tom and I saw one the other day you wouldn't fucking believe. This guy with the nuisance law, have any of you heard it? So we saw his other car, Don's other car the other day. He has got fucking actual alligator skin on the inside and outside of this Cadillac everywhere.
On the outside, too?
On the outside. On the top, on the drop-down part on the outside, on the seats. I've never seen so much alligator in one vehicle in my life. It is a Pimp Daddy Mobile, baby.
A little bling.
A little bling. Then he's got those rims that are probably 22 with tires that are no bigger than 2 inches in profile.
And they're saying he's a nuisance?
He got a bad deal.
Oh, he got fucked.
They took the car from him, right? It was.
Yeah, this is his other car.
He loaned it to somebody?
No, he brought it to his auto mechanic. The auto mechanic was driving it.
When he had a revoked license.
I heard that.
The auto mechanic. They took this guy's car and sold it now, and he had nothing to do. Well, they own it until that
judgment. Do you ever hear from Denver when he talks about this stuff?
Wait, no.
Yeah, has Denver called?
I'll say it off air. We're not going to say it on air. We're getting the judgment. We got an attorney involved. They're getting the judgment put on hold. And Denver is very interested to come up with a settlement.
Oh, boy.
This lawyer lied.
He should lose his fucking license. He told this guy, he goes, oh, let's meet Monday or Tuesday or whatever day it was, and we can talk about what you can do to get your car back. Meanwhile, the guy missed a default judgment on Friday because he had an appointment to meet with the attorney on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, no.
And we got phone fucking records.
Oh.
An attorney's supposed to practice in good faith.
That's horrible.
Unlike an engineer.
Yeah.
So he lied to the judge. To the judge, he lied to.
It's like the FISA thing all over again!
But you thought FISA was... What did you think FISA was?
Some kind of soccer?
You thought it was an additive pill to the
I thought it was a branded sneaker.
You thought it was the company that made Viagra.
They got the whoosh.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I just heard that recording. I wouldn't have given him a threat. I just would have fucking popped his ass.
What was it?
The recording from the frickin' Dust Bubble did.
What did it say?
I wouldn't have. He came in there deliberately being antagonistic. Just, wouldn't let the guy get his word out.
The caller.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even let him fucking.
And there's probably other people around.
Yeah.
And
he's making a spectacle of himself inside there.
Yep, there's the other side we were talking about.
We never get the whole story.
Wow.
Nah, almost.
Hurry.
Okay, Tom Martino here. It is car day, so let's talk about CenturyRV.com for the best prices in new and used RVs, especially Cougars. Man, why did they become the center around the country for a Cougar dealership? And those are the
largest
desirable campers. Now listen to this. I listened to the tape.
Oh, of this guy?
Yeah.
Well, you got to recap a little.
Marty has a death wobble. He paid $58,000 for this Jeep. He's upset. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for being
play
upset.
on errors are too foul.
He said the service director or one of the people in service threatened him, get the F out of my store. I'll effing drop you. How do I put this? I've been there where Marty is, where you're right, but you become wrong.
Yeah.
You become... listen, I know where he is. I'm almost like that with the Denver nuisance abatement law.
Yep.
I really am. There's a fine balance to being incensed over injustice and upset, rightfully so, but becoming an irritant. And Marty, you don't even think it, and you don't even realize it. You were being abusive too. You were being absolutely obnoxious. You really were. I mean, your line of questioning was absolutely obnoxious, but you're not going to admit it, and I know it, because you're in the forest. You're in the forest so deep you can't even see. What? I'm looking at, I listened to a whole bunch of it. I'm just saying that you were obnoxious. Totally irritating.
Kill him.
Okay. I dumped him. So listen, we're done. I'm done with this guy.
You know what's funny?
This guy is an a-hole, okay? Here's the problem. He really does have...
Is there any way we can play the tape by bleeping it, or you're not going to hear anything?
Yeah, you can hear some of it. Yeah, go ahead. Because I can bleep it if he swears. We can play the part. You can hear how irritating he is. Here's the point. If you're listening, Marty, you are righteously upset, but you're becoming an a-hole. You really are becoming your enemy. Ride that level, bro. Now, you see what I'm getting at?
You don't even got to play anymore.
Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Marty, we can't help you, man. Go to court.
When you're in somebody's face, man, you can't get anything done.
Do you remember the Ford one we had? We got 10 million views on it. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Same thing, Death Wobble. That guy did the same thing. He got so upset after a while, he walked into AutoNation or wherever it was and started threatening and went off the hook, and everything started turning at that point.
We believe you. We feel sorry for you. But, Marty, you don't even recognize you're an a-hole. You don't even recognize it. Hey, Mark, go ahead.
And we got some local repair.
He doesn't want it fixed. He wants, because he technically he's correct, that he paid for a warranty, he paid for a new car, he shouldn't have to pay, he shouldn't have to do this. Did you have to pay?
96.
His was old, 96.
Oh, his is not well out of warranty, and I understand why he's upset. Nellie, I saw that you've been waiting. Are you the same one we've been talking to about this co-op? Her brother is deceased. The co-op was in the estate. To make a long story short, co-ops are different than actual real estate, but I wanted to stress to them they never have to pick up obligation. No one does in an estate, unless, of course, you signed on original paperwork. Oh, what? Now that they know we're looking into it, what's the new information, Nellie? By the way, one of the reasons she called is they went in and gutted the place without telling her, and I'm not going to go here or there as to who told what, but I believe Nellie when she says, look, we just wanted to clean it up, they cleaned it out, they gutted it, now we don't know what to do. What's the latest, Nellie? Okay, I'm sorry. What? Wait. Hold on, Nellie, hold on. Did your brother own the shares?
Yeah.
Okay, they become part of his estate unless there are stipulations in that co-op that say it reverts back to a certain group, does it?
How does she get a hold of the actual agreement?
Well, her brother should have it in his stuff, or by court order. If she, then so you do have the original paperwork?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about the deed. I'm talking about the rules. For example, usually co-op shares are handled like anything else. It's a share of stock, a share of ownership. It goes to the estate. Is she saying that it no longer belongs to your brother because he died? Is that what she's saying?
Oh.
But Nellie, is he in the rears to such a degree where they're saying they took it over? How much? Okay, Nellie, who did your brother leave it to? Did he leave it to anyone? Okay, now technically, and don't keep saying voluntary. Don't say that because that makes it sound less authoritative. Have you been did you open up a probate?
I didn't do a probate because we don't have a will. There is no will.
Well, you don't need a will for probate. Probate is to take care of the estate. You need an attorney, Nellie. It's pretty clear you're in over your head, but let me explain what would happen.
there's a probate opened, and then that probate court will compel them to give you information on whatever he owns, whether they like it or not. And they can't demand from probate, oh, before we give you that, you have to sign it over. That's a lot of crap, by the way. But you don't have any...
Hold on, I have their number.
You don't have any authority.
I have the lady's number.
Well, they're not going to do anything
They
with
won't
us.
talk to you. Why would they talk to us?
No, they're not going. They're going to. They will talk to an attorney. You need an attorney licensed in New York, and you need to have them open a probate, and you need to get this started. But here's what I want to know. Really, bottom line. What are you trying to accomplish? Because you could easily just walk away from this co-op, screw signing it over, screw any of it, just walk away from it. What are you what do you want? What's your goal?
He will come after me if I don't do it.
Well, they can't come after you because you don't have any personal liability. But I don't want to give you legal advice. You know, I don't know what you signed and what you're on for and what you did, but I can see nowhere where they can come after you for something unless the estate has money that you guys distributed for self-gain, knowing there are legit bills that need to be paid by the estate. Don't be intimidated by these jerks. What you should do is ask. Tell them you'd like to file a lawsuit. Who is their attorney of record? Just ask them that. I mean, let's talk to some... Then we can talk to the attorney and at least get some answers.
I thought she had a value of this place at only $11,000.
Well, I don't even know where she got that from.
Yeah, that's the manager is saying.
Oh, I don't care what the manager said.
She's saying 8,000 to 11,000 it's worth because it's dependent upon how many shares he owns.
Okay, but he has enough shares that got him a one-bedroom apartment, right?
Correct.
Well, that's not worth 8,000. That's worth more in Manhattan or Brooklyn or wherever he is.
Brooklyn. Coney Island, yeah.
Now listen, is this person you think being difficult?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. You really need to get a probate attorney. I don't know how else to tell you. And there are reasons.
Okay, we are limited as far as, do you know who can help us as far as maybe getting that at a reasonable price? I know probate attorneys cost money.
Yeah, they do, and they do. I mean, did he leave any cash whatsoever?
Supposedly, he had a safe deposit box, and he inherited some money from my brother.
Okay, did you open the box? Did you get into the safe deposit?
I opened up the box, and then he had two boxes. One, he got sick. He got very ill.
Listen, I need to know, did you come across any money to pay legal fees?
No.
Where's his money? Where is it?
His friend robbed him.
Oh, God.
Well, now he's screwed then.
His friend robbed him. What do you mean? How much?
I don't know.
$85,000.
How do you know this?
He had a safe deposit box. He inherited money from my brother.
Why would anybody put that kind of cash in a safe deposit
How do you know that somebody stole it? How do you know this?
Well, he opened up a joint account.
With his friend?
He opened up a joint account with this other individual.
Well, then that's not theft.
He has over 40 years.
Why would he do that?
Because he was sick. He had a stroke. At about the time my brother had passed away, he had a stroke. And
this other person, will this other person talk to you?
No. No, he said no. He said as far as he's concerned, all the money is his. And
well, it is if it was in a joint account.
Yeah.
Well, and it is if it's in his possession.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just so sorry. Nellie, honest to God, you're going to have – here's the problem. You guys are going to have to spend $3,000 or $4,000 just to find out where everything is.
Or maybe just a few hundred just to sit down with an attorney and get any idea.
But she needs a New York attorney.
There. Yeah, correct.
We will – listen, you don't even have the money. That's the thing. This guy has the money from your brother. Why don't you just walk away? That's what I'm getting at. Why do you even care?
Okay, so do I not send them? Okay, but I've listed hello?
Let's get it. Listen, we're going to find a probate attorney from New York to come on the air and answer basic questions on walking away. Seriously. We're going to, maybe David Salisbury will help us. We can't do it for today, but we'll try.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by your local Ford
First of all, they should
store.
have never even stepped up. You don't have to take on that fucking obligation.
Well, the part...
Don't you think it's worth a lot more, though?
Yeah, but who cares? They don't have the... They don't even have the wherewithal to fight this.
But I think they want some...
There might... I'm telling you, the other side of this is there might not be a fucking nickel there. Period. End of story.
You mean in the
No, I mean like rightfully due to them in any form or fashion after what he owed and everything else, man.
But what do you think something, what you got that it would be worth?
800.
Coney Island?
I agree with that.
Hey,
I don't know.
That has the amusement park.
We saw
right
pictures.
now.
That's right, bro. That's right. A one-bedroom apartment? What are you fucking kidding me? Paid for?
I just look like a roach infested.
Sure, but that's probably
It's paid for, and it's 1,000 square feet in Brooklyn.
In prime real estate.
In
Prime
Brooklyn.
real estate.
1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little too close to the Clinton Library.
Let's put it this way.
Oh,
Why? What do you know about that?
No, it's not even near it.
He's
Not
got
even
season
close
passes
to it.
and annual.
He's going to get suicided.
Not even
Yeah.
close to it. The Clinton Library is on a whole different part of the island. It's not even on that. It's up Manhattan, up
That drove
near
down
Harlem.
value.
Get the right representation, you can feel good.
Okay, so here, let's talk about this.
They even named Chelsea after the...
We know this. We know this. It's 1,000 square feet, and it's at least...
It was 800 square feet.
Okay.
Have you
800
been to
square
that
feet
area?
times 200. We know 200 square
Have you
foot.
been in that area?
All right, so what's that?
Just the square footage. That's 160. That's just... And 200...
And that's all it is, though. There was... You
But
saw the pictures.
It doesn't even come close. Most of it, it's mostly, it's like a 2,000
You know,
square foot to 1,000.
The other thing might be simple as this. When he died, those points go back to the fucking
That's
total.
true. I don't know how it works.
But why would they do that? Why would
I don't
somebody
know.
buy
But
into
then she
something
said
like
something that I don't understand. Something that was really fucked
For
up.
low
Wait,
payment.
she said something about low income, and that's what I've never heard of co-op for low income. I've never fucking heard it.
It
It's
could
just
be.
not-
Maybe it was subsidized by the fucking mayor or somebody.
Yeah, but nobody buys into a private co-op from subsidies. That's what I don't fucking
low
understand any of that.
Well, she doesn't have any of the paperwork.
Okay,
And
let me
how
just
big
find.
is low income? He has 345,000.
Brooklyn, New York, 375,000, 1,000
We're gonna
square
have to
foot
move
unit.
that here
Yeah.
quick, by the
Listed.
way.
620 for a 1,100 square foot.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York, in that area.
How much?
620,000.
620,000.
Yeah, but you're looking at nice stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
not arguing there's a...
I
I would guess it's worth probably 200 grand if it's that simple. You basically buy it.
Yeah.
You don't get a whole lot.
Oh, you didn't see the pictures of this thing.
But it's just like that. They got to rebuild.
The fucking guy gutted it. You are walking in there and you are tearing anything left in there out and starting.
Listen. Median
It's worse than
square foot price, 2,400 per square foot.
Yeah, median.
In Brooklyn, median. That means there's equal number above and below. That's fucking high.
Oh, it's ridiculous. My nephew just bought a place in Queens. Freaking everything needed major rehab. And they laid point. It was like...
Hold on. No, hold on. I'm sorry. Brooklyn is $1,399.
Yes.
Where were you looking?
On average, the cost for 900 square feet in normal condition, $1.2 million for 900 square feet in Brooklyn.
To live on a postage stamp.
That's in Brooklyn. That's for normal condition.
Yeah, but they got good hot dogs down on the boardwalk.
So say they got to put 200,000 in an apartment to make it beautiful.
Now, or it can go down to 600,000. Now, if it's gutted, I'm sure it's way less.
Yeah, but we're also looking at shit that you would walk in and buy with cash. We're missing the entire fucking thing. We have no idea what these points are worth.
Back to school headquarters. From shoes to backpacks.
The points might only be worth like some kind of weird rent or something. I have no idea. What would you do if you were them?
Well, if I had no money...
That's what I'm saying. What would you do if you were them?
I would try to find an attorney who would take a percentage of the estate.
Or who would at least look at it and say, okay.
Then I'd say,
put a lien on it.
a percentage... Well, no, somebody has to litigate to get those assholes to pony up some
But once you
information.
want to go to a realtor just to see what it's worth in that condition?
Yeah, but you have to have the paperwork on this stupid thing they're doing. It's not a normal deal.
I'd have an attorney first do an inquiry and say, would you at least look into it? and if it's something like 10% or 30%, 25% of the estate.
Here's what I don't get on these co-ops. If it's, let's say there's 100% and there's 4 people in the co-op, each owns 25%. If my unit is totally trash with nothing and your unit is fucking decked out to the max, how is the value the same?
Okay, because the co-op shares are worth the same.
That's just going to be the shell.
Per share.
The shell.
Yes.
Footage.
What you do inside
you
it
put into
doesn't
the
matter.
co-op, Mark, what you put into the co-op has nothing to do with your co-op.
So, but when you sell it, you sell the shares plus the shit you bring to it?
That's right.
Okay.
If you can get it. That's the problem. If you have low co-op shares and you overbuild it, it's like being in a neighborhood where you overbuild
You have the nicest house, no one will ever buy it.
Right. That's exactly right. The co-op
because anybody that could buy it
and
will
there
live
are
somewhere
rules
else.
in the co-op as to what the minimum you do.
Take the gutted co-op.
Like
it's almost like up in some of these ski resorts do it the same way. You buy a place in these condos, you're buying the furniture, you're buying everything. When you move, you don't even move your shit you brought in.
Now with the co-op, of course, they're not necessarily furnished. Some of them are, but with a co-op, they never sell you the stuff in that. If there's an owner in there, that's up to you and him to negotiate the finish. But you're buying the square. It's like commercial space. It's really fucking weird.
So they pay a HOA fee like an HOA fee?
I don't know actually.
Well, they're probably all different. We're acting like they're all the same. They're probably all different.
I actually don't know. They're all private corporations. Hi, Tom Martino. You're a troubleshooter. Listen, man, New York co-ops are a whole different animal. Co-ops stand for they're corporations. That's what they are, corporations. You own shares. Have nothing to do with the living space. The shares are kind of points, and you need so many shares to have so many square feet. How you finish those square feet, that's up to you. And you may or may not get your price out of it when you sell it, but I don't want to get into it right now. Let's go to Marlene. Hey, Marlene, you want to talk about buying a new car?
I do. What's best? 2019 this month or 2020 next month?
I'm the best at this stuff.
I know. Well, you're the one that buys leftovers.
If there's no body changes whatsoever, I mean, nothing has changed, no upgrades or anything, and you can get a better deal on the 19, I'd get the 19.
Yeah, you see, with many cars, it doesn't matter unless there is a change. When there is a change, there's a drastic difference.
Like the Corvette we were talking about last week.
Forget that.
Imagine
Corvette.
the difference.
Yes. Or even a Porsche or a Mercedes. Wherever there's a body change or a significant upgrade in performance or
But what
features.
are you talking about? What vehicle?
Yeah.
Either a Honda CR-V
Won't
or
matter.
a Toyota Camry.
Wait.
Either one?
Oh, wait. Oh, you want to see either one of those. A Camry or a CR-V?
I don't know if the bodies are changing. I have no idea.
I don't... Yeah,
Are you asking between the two of those vehicles or a 19 and 20 in each of those vehicles?
Yes, in each of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much can you save on the 19s? I mean, in the Hyundai line, you can generally save a lot of money.
She's looking for Honda. So on the CR-V,
Yeah.
how much is the savings on a CR-V from one model year to the next?
Well, I'm going to guess maybe $2,000 or $3,000.
If that's a significant savings.
And if the body didn't change, I mean, why
you
wouldn't
really want to look at body changes, suspension changes, transmission changes. If it's significantly the same vehicle, you want to buy it for the savings. I'm Tom Martino. Hey, Pro Auto Care, thank you for being here. That's ProAutoCare.com, and it says, or 303ProAuto.com, TransmissionsDenver.com, and HonestAccurateAuto.com.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent
See,
ups
this
and
last
downs,
hour
don't let
didn't feel like it was
so goddamn fast.
All week
We don't even notice it.
It is.
You guys just picked this up this week?
In fact, I think it's this year.
So now are you crossing Michael
Well, we
Brown
grabbed a
and
lot
Owens?
of new people that only tuned into Hannity. Didn't even know we existed.
We gotta get out.